It's weird to see myself with this.
Let's just start right there.
Yes.
A new look, Jorge Prado, second time on the pod. Everything is different.
Business as usual for the number one. Jorge Prado wins in Spain. Jorge Prado wins race 2. He wins the MXGP.
I raced A1, and then after A1 that week, every brand called me, like all the brands. When I'm riding, when I'm training, I give my 100%. So I expect you guys to do the same. And they were like, we are here 200% for you. All right, deal. I'm coming here to race Supercross too, but outdoors?
Yeah.
Outdoors should be very fun.
Was it the fastest you've ever rode?
Fastest. We would maintain that speed the whole race. Never happened before. And I win the World Championship. I get €0. So Jeffrey, when he's going to these regional races, he's getting more money than on a GP, you know?
What did you make of the battle between Jet and Gajser?
I was happy that Gajser won, to be honest.
We can't do a race like the GYPSY 500 or really anything dirt bike related without first making an online pit stop at motorsport.com. On our YZ250 project build, we went hard in the paint for everything from our Pro Circuit pipe and silencer to our boys and reeds and everything in between. The same goes when we're getting ready to take on a huge challenge like World Vets last year at Glen Helen, and the GYPSY 500 is no different. To prep for this insane event, we need to kit out our 4 Stark Vargs with moose tubes, hand guards, and some super soft grips, as well as our sag tool and more. To get your bike or body ready to race or ride in 2024, motorsport.com should be your first destination. They have the biggest range, the best deals, and no one has more reliable shipping or better customer service. Motorsport makes it possible for us to make our crazy ideas come to life, and they can make it happen for you too. Head to motorsport.com to kickstart your riding season.
I met a gypsy.
It's weird to see myself with these
I
colors.
bet, dude. I bet it's strange. It's been a long time.
It's been, I mean, it's so weird for me. Even when I see myself, when my dad or a friend makes a little video of myself riding like a new bike with the new colors, it's like the first day I didn't even know it was myself. You know what? Like, this is me. You know, this is me riding the bike. Like, feels so weird. But you get used to it, and it's so cool.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
dude, let's just start right there. A new look, Jorge Prado, second time on the pod, and completely different. Everything is different than when you did the podcast last time.
Yes.
Except the fact that you're a world champion. And yeah, it's been 12 months, and that's just like completely different. Life has changed
Exactly
for you so
12
much.
months.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
dude, it pretty much was 12 months ago.
and I mean, last year I came here as the world champion, and I come here again as the world champion again. So
That's pretty much the only thing.
It's the only thing that
stayed the same.
Exactly. To be honest. But it's nice. It's nice. I had a very nice year. So since we met, I did the first rounds of the Supercross Championship.
Yeah.
I went back to Europe, did the whole MXGP series, and now I'm back here with a new team, new sponsors. I've been with the same guys for 12 years, so it's a big change in my life. Different group of people, and I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
What excites you the most about it?
So I knew my goal was to come over here. If I get a title, like my goal was to come over. Even though I had to make the decision before that, but so I was like, if I need to just make a big change like this, I just go like full change, new team, new colors, everything need to be changed. I knew I wanted to change bike, want to try something else, and Kawi has a very good bike, so I want to come here and win also. So I feel like with Kawi, I had better tools to make it happen.
Yeah. Did you ride the bike before you signed with them? Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Fair enough. Don't worry about it. Don't forget that question.
Yeah.
It is a really good bike though. I rode it.
It is.
I rode it the first time for the shootout last year when we compared all the it was with Swap Moto and we compared all the 450s. And
that's cool.
I loved it. Like I thought it was good. The stock bike is not very powerful. Like if you go from a Yamaha 450 to a Kawi 450, massive difference.
Oh, really?
Big difference. But at a level of a factory bike, it doesn't matter at all.
I
Like, it's
mean-
just not even a thing.
I mean, I told the guys from Kawi, I'm like, hey, I love power. Make sure, I get a bike with a lot of bottom power and stuff because I'm really easy on the throttle. So if I don't have power, I need to, just rev it more, and it's not my riding style. So when I got here, and because I did already like a week of testing Supercross, and I think it was the third day, they said, hey, we have 1 second bike for you. And man, I mean, like, this bike is too much power. It's like with this bike, you can quad everything. I don't need to quad everything right now. It's like easy. So, I mean, we have everything we need, I was not worried, but I'm like, hey, I've been always riding the same bike with the same brand, and KTM is known also for their power, right? We had such a good
motor,
engine and easy engine, right? You could go on the throttle and it's just a smooth,
Third gear
it's
everywhere. Yeah.
easy. Or even if you stick in second gear, it would, let you rev the bike and still be smooth. So I was kind of worried about that, but not worried at all.
So
I
good.
tried the bike and I was actually very impressed. Very impressed about just the whole package. I think like the Supercross bike from Kawi is just amazing. I was surprised, like really surprised. And it's not easy because I really know what I like. And as soon as I got on that bike, I felt super comfortable. So it's crazy.
I had a couple friends tell me that on your second day of riding, you were very fast. I was like,
I don't know.
Well, that's what I heard. Everyone's like, dude, Prado actually looks really good, and he's only been on the bike 2 days.
I felt very good.
That's
I felt
awesome.
very good, especially through the whoops. That bike doesn't move. As if you get faster and faster, it's just better and better. So if you just get faster entry speed, bike would react even better to the whoops. If you get faster into the corners, bike would be even better. And then I think like the group of people that it's around, so just like the team itself, it's very professional. They have a very good structure, and I think it's helping to get to the level they have right now, like the bike setup, right? I did few days of testing, like I said, and just when I was worried about something, like, hey, suspension is doing this and this, can we maybe fix that? They would go on the computer, check everything, talk to everyone, and okay, make the change, and it would click like directly, like exactly what I was saying. They can change that, and I was really surprised about that. For sure, it's not going to be like this always, but I mean, it's already a good start. If every little thing I say, we can get it fixed, it's crazy. And like you said, I felt very comfortable, very quick, but still all year long in front of us, and we just need to take it step by step. We don't want to make any
You don't want
rush
to get
it.
like overly excited.
Yeah,
And,
it's easy. It's easy because new bike, you feel great. New team, everybody's happy. You're happy.
Yeah,
You
honeymoon
come over,
period. This is like a new girlfriend, bro. First
You
3
need to be
months,
ca- you need-
she's perfect.
Yeah, but you need to keep the spark, right? So you need to keep going easy,
Yeah.
not too fast in the beginning, So, just taking it easy and enjoying it because this year has been, what a year.
Full on, eh?
Stressful for me. So stressful because I signed a deal already in Argentina with Kawi. So it's been
Yeah, I heard a long time ago.
it's a long time, and I didn't want to come over if I wasn't world champion, but once it's signed. Like I knew I was gonna come at the end of the year. Like I was flying to the US and starting with like a new adventure, but I wanted to be world champion. I didn't want to come over as second in the championship. So
Why was that important to you? You've already won one.
I know, but last year people could say it's not more about the people, but more for myself because it's also true. Last year, Gajser was injured. Jeffrey got injured halfway season, even though he was second when he got injured. But anyway, this year I had everyone on the gate for every single round. So I just wanted to prove myself that I can be the best. Doesn't matter the situation. And it was a weird year because I just knew I was going to get the title all the time. You can ask my team, everybody around me. I knew somehow I was going to get it. But in some situations, I felt like, wow, this is getting hard. Like Majora, like losing my seat in Arco. I lost so many points. The mud race, suddenly like 15 minutes before the race, just pouring rain and track floated. And I'm not that good with mud. So things were just getting difficult, but somehow I still was like, I think I get it done. I'm way better than last year. I should get it done. And going back to your question, I wanted to come here as a world champion, not as second in the standings or third.
Well, and I think you want to hold yourself to a high standard. And it's like, it's a champion's mindset. And there's a saying that I love, and it's how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think that it sounds like you just wanted to hold yourself to this standard and to aim that high the whole time, even through the low times, is what actually gets you there, is that belief and never giving up and never lowering your standards to saying, no, it's okay to be second. If you mentally never let go of that, it's a thing that can push you.
Yeah, I think this is probably the first year in my whole career where I was like, I think I got it. Like, I was 99% sure I was going to get champion. Even 3 rounds ago, so 3 rounds ago, we were in Turkey, and so we end up, I won the GP, and I was still 14 points behind team, and only 2 races to go. China, no quali race, so one, I didn't have that quali race possibility of getting points on him.
Back,
so somehow I just knew it was gonna get tight, like it was, but I knew I was able to do it. I trained very hard this year too. I didn't get any injuries. I think Supercross did me well because it was just something fresh. So I came into the MXGP season super fresh with just wanting to ride outdoors, because I did some time riding Supercross. So for me, it was like new motivation again to ride outdoors, make the bike good for outdoors. So it was just nice,
felt a little bit behind too, where you're like, shit, I need to get it done,
Like people were saying in the beginning, like, no, he's coming from Supercross, he should be 100%. I had like 3 days of testing. Then we even had some problems. We couldn't really do much testing, and then straight to Argentina. So coming to Argentina, I think I was even 8th in the time practice. Like everything came so fast. I was more used to Supercross, so
and
I kind of felt like,
different.
and especially Argentina, wide open everywhere. I was a little bit off, but then like somehow my race intensity was a little bit better than the rest, and I think fitness-wise, I was just a step ahead, so I could manage also to win there. But like you said, I was a little bit behind, even though it didn't look. I was slightly behind, and I could regroup fast, have a, quite a good base setup for the whole year. So I could only focus on training, and that's it, and being relaxed and focus on just riding. So this is the best you can do. Just focus on your thing and don't worry about the bike. So this was good.
Do you think that as you get a bit older and you get a bit more experienced, the mental side of it really, like, have you noticed your mental capacity to deal with these things become better?
Yes. And I think it also helps, just like you said, experience. Experience helps a lot, also in bike setup. So when I came back to Europe, I really knew what I wanted on the bike. So I was very clear to them, and somehow we managed to be very quick on a good setup, on a good base setup that worked everywhere.
What did you want?
Just suspension-wise, we had new forks, new shock. So I was a little bit worried about the shock. I didn't really like it the first time I tried it in 23 at the end of the season. But I was very happy about the new forks. So, like I said, I was a little bit worried about the shock. We did a lot of testing, and I kind of, in the beginning, didn't really like it. But somehow, little by little, working. I would do like 2 laps, and I said, this is not working. Back. 2 laps, not working.
What didn't you like? What feeling are you trying to get?
I like kind of like a soft feeling on the shock, but not too soft that it would kick you over the bars, and not that hard that it's bouncing, So I like to play with the bike a lot. I don't like it when it's like too. I like it like free.
Yeah, when it's dead, and
I don't like it when it's dead. Exactly.
Yeah,
so I like that it reacts, but not overreacts, because then it's kicking.
Yeah.
So it's kind of find that balance where also the balance of the bike, it's sitting a little bit more to the back, like I like it. That the front feels soft, but at the same time, when I'm braking hard, that it stays in a good balance position, that you are free with the bike to play with the little bumps. It's not easy. It's not easy, but if you really know what you want and the people around you kind of understand you,
and they're okay with that
it's good.
too, because there's a problem in it's any field, in any job, when you're working with a team of people, and you say, "I really want it this way," and for those people not to be defensive and say, "No, this is as good as I can get it," or "This is why you want it like this." When you have the trust in the people around you that you can give them. Because, I mean, I'm sure a suspension guy, the ego of any suspension guy, when you do 2 laps and come in and say, it's not what I want, the reaction for the guy to be like, okay, I'll change it. Like, that's hard to get.
Well, we had the new suspension guy this year in the team, and I was very happy with him. He was really open to everything, and he knew what he was doing on the bike. I felt like we had a very good setup, also thanks to him understanding what I wanted. And not giving up on when I said like, hey, this is not working, and just sticking with it, but change it and really like change it. You know, like try to get the bike better and better. And it's not easy. I built my bike in 3 days for the whole year. So 3 days, and that was all for the whole year. Then we had some races where I didn't feel my best, but pretty much everywhere felt quite decent. So. But it's hard. Suspensions are hard to get, especially because this year, like I said, we had a new shock, new fork. So it was not easy just to get the right balance, to get everything like I wanted to. But I was happy. Happy.
That's awesome.
Way more happy than 23. My bike was working way better this year. Felt more confident also. 1 year stronger, more experience. Everything helps, to be honest. Everything helps.
Yeah. What fork did you go away from the 52 mil fork, or was it still 52 mil WP?
Well, I will tell you one thing. I'm not very good into
the technical
stuff. I'm very bad. Like, I don't even know what's under my bike. I just know if it's good or not, but not
Yeah,
really
fair.
like all the specifications and all that. I'm not so good with it. I just know it was 48 air.
Okay.
That's what we all had in Europe.
Okay.
Pretty much all.
So, yeah, because KTM's been on that 52 mil fork forever.
Yes.
And they were just so staunch about keeping everyone on that 52. I think Vial still runs it in the US for... I could be speaking out my ass.
I don't know. I know in Europe, I don't think it's even allowed to ride the 52s.
Really?
Yeah, we had to race 48s, but...
That's probably a lot better.
But I was so happy. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like the 52s.
Yeah.
I love the 48s. Like, really, the fork this year was amazing. It just felt lighter to me. Better into the corners.
Huge difference, eh?
In the sand, I even liked it way more in the sand. So we were lucky with that change. It was a fork I had always like in the back of my mind for years. Like, I feel like the 48 could be a better fork for me, just because the 52 was too like...
It's so rigid.
It's too
stiff,
rigid, you know, like to change directions, tight corners. I don't know. It just felt too rigid. 48 straight away, perfect.
That's so sick. And you're not a heavy dude, and
No.
you don't ride heavy.
No.
You ride very light, very free.
Yes.
So to have like this huge bulky fork on the front of your bike in particular, I mean, maybe Jeffrey likes the feeling of that.
I felt like the 52s also got better. So when I started riding GP, it was just a normal 52, like spring. But then we got into the Air 52, and that was already a huge step.
Yeah.
Like in the sand, hard pack, just a better like feeling. Especially the first piece of the fork would absorb everything way better, give you a better feeling on the hands, just better traction on the front on the front part of the bike, better balance overall. So already 52 Air were very good, but the 48. Was
Even
another
better
step
again.
this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you can notice even I've got a set of the cone valves on my bike in Dubai, and you ride that front end, and if you I come over here and just ride like a stock bike, just every time you jump, you're just like, the front end it feels like the front end's going higher because there's just no weight there compared to even just like a 48 spring cone valve.
And then we have the factory material, so that's...
Even lighter again.
I don't know if it's lighter or not, but I just feel like it's factory material, so we just a step higher in everything. When when you jump to the flat, it absorbs better.
Yeah.
When you have those little bumps, it also absorbs everything better. It just gives you a better feeling.
Yeah. And now on Showa.
Now I'm with Showa.
Crazy different, like two completely different ends
For
of
me,
the
it's hard to
spectrum.
say, for example, if you ask me what's better, at the moment, I can't even compare those two things just because the whole bike is different.
Yeah.
You know, just Kawi, KTM, or Gas, it's two different bikes.
Yeah.
Use different tires, different suspension. You know, it's impossible to compare. I can say what I like more in Supercross, this or that. And for the moment, Kawi is so much better.
What stands out to you the most?
So when you ride, for example, with the Gas Supercross, it almost feels like it's a different sport than when you do it with the Kawi.
Yeah, really.
Really.
Really? No way.
So when you face like a rhythm section with the gas, you're like, all right, let's see if I'm not too short or too far. Like you're like, you jump and you're kind of careful. And then if you come too short, it will kick you a little bit. If you're too far, you need to kind of stop. Or that's what I felt. And then if you need to move the bike from like on a rhythm section, like from left to right, it's like heavy, you know, like heavy feeling. Like if you are riding a 500, you know, it's like a heavy bike. Also in the turns, it just feels like it's too big. Like if it's like the corners fell very tight.
Yeah.
And with the Kawi, it's just like if I'm riding a 250 with a lot of power,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's light. You can left, right. I can scrap again. Like with the gas, it was very difficult to scrap on a Supercross track.
Yeah. Okay.
I can go flat with the Kawi. You know, it's just light. It's just a light bike. Turns very good. A lot of traction. In the whoops, it's just so level all the time. You know, just the balance is so good. But all right, you know, we're still in the beginning of the season. Everything can happen. My speed is for sure not the best right now. It's not bad, but I for sure will get way faster. And maybe as I get faster, the bike will...
More problems will start to come up.
Exactly.
Yep,
But
yep.
it's good that the first impression of the bike is so good.
Yeah.
That's very important. I didn't have this last year.
The biggest thing that I noticed on a stock Kawi, because I think that there are things that translate from a stock, like the stock bike, the bones, the skeleton of the motorcycle. It's the same on a gas. That's one of the cool things about.
I feel maybe here in the US, but not in Europe.
Because you guys are on like factory.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for example, my frame, my gas frame,
Completely different.
it's completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it was like the factory edition, kind of like in something like that, but not the same. Still not the same. I was the only one riding that frame in Europe.
Okay.
All the rest were riding a different frame. Like I feel like the bikes here.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I rode all those bikes together, the biggest thing that stood out for me on the Kawi, it was the Kawi and the Yamaha were the two best bikes of lean angle traction.
All right.
So as I leaned over, I felt like I still had traction on the Kawi.
I have these two in the Kawi.
The Kawi was the top. The Yamaha was the second for me on that.
Yeah.
And I had so much more lean angle confidence. And that's, for me personally at least, that's the thing I really struggle with. Like to lean the bike over when there's bumps, that to me is like, I mean, it's probably where everyone struggles basically, but I don't have that much confidence in that. And so I really, really want a bike that lets me lean over and absorb the small bumps. And it's more so into the turn.
Yeah.
Out of the turn, I feel like that's where the rear end of the bike comes into play a little bit more. But I felt on the Kawi straight away, I could dump the thing over and I still had traction, and it gave me so much more overall confidence.
Yeah, like going back to the MXGP season. So, we did 2 rounds in Indonesia.
Yep.
So the first round was one way, and they changed the,
Shit.
so the second round was the same track, just the other direction.
That's insane.
With little bit modifications to the track, a little bit. But somehow, round 2 in Indonesia, the whole track was kind of like you said, like an angle. You know,
Yeah.
it was not like straight. You were always kind of turning everywhere. Oh, I struggled so much. It was probably the worst race for me this year. I just couldn't ride it. I was losing the front the whole time.
And there's nothing worse.
I just couldn't go on the throttle. I just couldn't brake. I just couldn't do anything because I was losing all the time the front. I just didn't have feeling. And then, for example, now this week riding the Kawi test track, we have some corners where you, for example, land and you're leaning already into the corner, and I'm like, I think I'm losing the front, but the front is sticking to the ground so good. I just kind of my mind still thinks I'm on a KTM, and it's like, oh, but nothing happens. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was quite impressed about that too. And now it's funny because you said the same thing. Just when you're kind of like turning,
Yeah.
and the bike's still planted to the ground. This is important too because you can stay on the packs too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need to sit
maybe
down.
not so much me, but maybe a bit more you.
No,
but
it's
that
good.
was my biggest impression from that bike. And I think, have you met Tucker yet?
Sorry?
Have you met Tucker yet? The suspension and like test guy for Kawi. You might meet him at some point. He's an absolute legend.
So, say it again?
Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's in Europe a bunch of times. But anyway, I'm always
Wait,
talking.
you said Taka?
Yeah.
No.
You haven't met him yet?
No.
So he works.
Is it? You're not talking about the one from Hawaii?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kaipo.
Yeah, Kaipo. Yeah.
No, he's doing mine.
Yeah. So Taka he does development like R&D for Kawi
All right.
in Japan, and he works a bunch with like Fevra and the boys in
All
Europe
right.
with their setups and stuff. But he's a good friend of mine. He used to live and race in Australia. And the whole time he was developing the Kawi, I'm like, "Man, what do you got going on? What do you got going on? What do you got going on?" But that was like his big thing. He was just like, all chassis. He's like, the bike, we need this thing to feel good when it's turning. So
I think it comes a little bit from everything, from everywhere that you have a good feeling from the bike. I don't think it's only suspension or only the frame. It's a combination of both.
yeah,
I feel like, for example, back to Gas, we had a good suspension. I feel like this year, suspension-wise, was good, but
yeah.
just the base of the bike wasn't
Like the chassis wasn't complementing the suspension as much.
exactly. So you're always missing, a little bit. But now, for example, in the Kawi, from what I tested, I feel like they have a very good frame.
Yeah.
And this is very important because that's the heart of the bike.
Yeah.
If the frame is not good, you can't do anything because you get to a point where you can just you stop improving because you have limits. But I feel like the frame is super important on a motocross bike. It's the heart of the bike, I would say.
And you've never ridden a aluminum frame before?
No, first time.
Did you have any impressions of that? Like, could you feel anything different?
No.
Because, like you said, everything's so different.
Everything is so different.
Yeah.
And then, no, I just couldn't feel anything. I just felt like the bike was super light.
Yeah.
Everywhere, like
Which
especially
is
in the
strange
jumps.
because I bet if you I think the factory bikes are probably all weighing about the same. But the stock KTM Gas Husky is like way lighter than all the other bikes in terms of actual
But
weight.
you know what? I think the engine makes a difference too.
Yeah. Because
so
it's a
probably-
big gyro that's moving.
So probably Kawi has that figured out better.
Yeah.
I didn't have this feeling with my bike in Europe. I'm comparing the bike I race here to this Kawi.
Yeah.
My bike in Europe felt light too.
Yeah.
But then my old Supercross bike felt heavy.
Yeah.
Felt just hard to move around the track. Also balance-wise wasn't perfect and
Yeah. Yeah.
just didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But this one, straight day one, I was like, really, I came out of the track and I'm like, I really don't know if we can get better than this. It's like,
That's a crazy
I'm like,
thing.
first day, I'm like, what do I need to say now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even feel there is something where we need to improve. But then as soon as I get faster, I'm like, hey, let's check that. And they do it. Oh, it's already step. I'm like, should we change that? And they're like, oh, we try better. I'm like, what is going on, man? This is just getting so much better now.
Well, and I think you're new to Supercross. You know,
Yes.
like you did a year of riding. A year. You did an off season.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you don't have a crazy amount of time
No.
on a Supercross
Not
track.
at all.
So to be in a good place with the bike early means like you probably can just start doing lap after lap and just
Yep.
focusing on yourself.
This is very important
and
too.
not so much the bike.
Yes. So that's something cool because I just can ride the bike. I just can ride and feel comfortable. And as you feel comfortable, you get faster, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is also very important for me now in the beginning to have a very good base setup that I can put laps. I can build my fitness into the year, into the season. just get faster.
Just skills
Everywhere.
on a supercross track.
And I like something from the bike a lot. It's allowing me to change the options on track. So in the rhythms, I can 2, 3, 2 something, or just can 3, 3. I don't know. Just like I just can change my riding style a lot and do different kind of rhythms. And this is because the bike, I think, is allowing me to play more with it. I can play a lot more with the bike, and I think this is cool. And I feel like in the races with all the ruts, you need to be even more technical. So I think a bike that's allowing you to do that is an advantage.
Yeah. What's your program going to be like? Are you just going to stay same as Europe, like basically training by yourself?
Yep.
Doing your own thing?
Yes. I do my own thing. I have my dad.
Yep.
But he's not a trainer. He's just dad. So when we go to the track, he's just telling me, hey, turn better there, hit this better. Look, I don't know, he's doing it better than you. Just try to get better, or hey, you're doing it great, or whatever. He's just there to try and make myself a better rider. And then, I have Brock Tickle.
Yep.
He's the test rider and
Good dude.
very good. I was very
Good
happy
dude.
to ride these days with him because I was impressed. To
He's
be honest.
he's a rad guy too.
Yep.
Like away from the track, and he's a very cool dude.
Yeah, I still need to meet him. Need to get to know him more.
Yeah.
But what I seen on track was crazy. It was nice. Nice to have him around. Easy guy. Just good to hang around at the track. So this is important. And also he rides the bike very good. He rides very good, like turning and stuff, like very smooth. So I like that too. I like from him that he really, when I'm riding, for example, he's really looking to me to everything I do. Like I remember I had this corner, I was feeling something weird in the front, and I would tell to the team, and he would just come over and said, hey, I feel like in that corner, your front, it's like doing something exactly what I said, So I like that because that means he's really into helping. And this is important. So I have him at the track. I will have Jason. I still didn't see him, but because he was on holidays. So as soon he's back and I'm back riding, we will be riding together. So it's good that I have him and learn from him. He's a very good rider, and I will for sure make big steps having him on track. So this is important. And then I have my one friend that's helping me with the physical program.
Okay. Yeah, and you're probably pretty dialed on the physical side. Like I feel like you probably know at this point what you need to do.
Yes. So I think the key also this year was that I stepped it up also physically even more than last year.
Yeah, I feel like your calves are bigger. Like when you were walking down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you were walking down the road, I was like, "Fucking look at the fucking legs on the guy."
Yeah, probably.
Bit of cycling.
A bit less than last year, to be honest. Yeah,
Okay.
overall, a bit less.
I feel like you look a
different.
little bit bigger. But yeah, how
bit
how
more
old are you
gym, maybe.
now?
23.
Okay. So yeah, I think your body really changes. Like
it's
24,
changing.
25, 26,
Yes.
27. Like even when I met my wife, even she said the other day, I was like really small and skinny. But now I'm like fucking just a big frame.
Yes.
Your frame gets bigger,
Yeah, I think it's normal. You grow. For example, in my case, when you're older, when you're doing again so much training,
So
on the
much
gym,
training.
so much cycling, so much
riding.
whatever. So, the muscles grow. I even feel like my back got bigger, wider. This helps also on the bike. My legs got stronger. I did a little bit more gym workout this year. I have a very good program. So yeah, I was really not worried about my physical this year, like my fitness. Every race I jump in, I didn't even think about getting tired. I was like, I hope I win. I hope I win. That's the only thing. Well, I hope not. Let's win. That's what I was thinking. I need to win. I need to win. I need to win. That's it. I didn't even think about, it's hard. I think it will be hard. No.
Well, dude, China was a good example of that. So you were sick.
I was very bad.
Sick as a dog. And
I was very bad there.
hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And you won both motos.
I know. But that second moto was
That was a grind.
probably the worst moto. Like, I felt the worst there of my whole career.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I was so bad. Like, you can't imagine. Like, you had to be there to see it. Like, I was very, very bad. And I remember going, so we had the pits and then you had the finish line. I remember just going through the pits straight. I didn't even look to the pit board, and I looked up to the finish line. We have the timer, and it said 14 minutes left. I'm like, I'm dying. Like I was dying already. Like 14 minutes ago, I was like, I was
That's a
dead.
long
You know?
time, bro.
So like mentally, I was like, okay, let's do it. One lap by lap. You know, I was like, one lap. All right, another one. If I can do one, I can do two. I can do another one. I can do another one. I was just like if it's a sprint, kind of like I sprint one time, breathe in the finish line, another sprint, breathe again, another sprint. I was just kind of like having that mentality of like, okay, one lap is good. Let's do another one. I did it. It's fine. Another one. Just last lap, I was like seeing white. Too much like light into my eyes. I didn't even see the track. I cased like 2 jumps in the last lap. I was like done.
Bro.
I was done. Like I was completely done.
But that was a key round for the championship.
Yep.
Huge
I
round.
knew because when I was leading the race, I was 4 points. So at that point, not, but like after first mode, I was 4 points in front.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if
Because
I win this,
that
I
was
will
the one
be,
that Tim broke his foot peg.
yeah, he crashed
He had like
twice.
three
or
crashes,
2
I
or
think.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he did some mistakes there, and I took advantage of it. Then Moto 2, I was 4 points ahead before that second Moto. And when I was leading, I was like, I need to win this because then I will be 7 points. If he beats me, I will be 1 point ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want to be 1 point ahead coming into the last round just because everything can happen, you know? I mean, imagine I have a little crash. I have someone hits me. I don't know. You know, everything can happen. So my goal was to be 7 points in front. And for that, I had to win. And he was there the whole moto. He was there behind. I'm like, I die for this. I die for these 3 points. I die for this. You know, I'm not going to let you win. I was like, he kind of pushed, I think, like 5 minutes to go. He did a little push. And I'm like,
It was just like this the whole time.
I'd also do it. Like, I can go empty if I need to. So I did it again. And I pulled that little gap. And I felt like he just couldn't. You know, he just couldn't react to that. I think we were both very bad. I think I was worse than him, to be honest.
That has to feel good to know, like, if that was the hardest moto of your career. Because think about it. Like, we'll just fully lay out the context. Championship is coming down to the wire. You just get the points lead back. You're sick.
Look at this, man. When I talk about the championship, I'm like, we were on the limit.
Bro, crazy hot. You're in China, of all places, and you have to bury yourself 6 feet under to get 3 points, which makes a huge difference going into your home GP to win your second title. Like, you must be very proud of that effort. And I would imagine that when it gets hard in the outdoors this year or in Supercross, or like those moments build something in yourself that you almost are like a level up as a human, not just as a racer, but you know you're a better human for that race.
Yes. No, I think everything helps. Also coming to the last round and, you know, being in the position of if you don't win, you get second. If you win the title. So being in that position, it's terrifying. It gives you so much adrenaline. And
you're at home, bro.
And I was at home. But, you know, since I got there, everyone like, hey, you got to win this. I know I got to win this. I know I'm here for this, but don't tell me all the time. And it was full of spectators, full of fans, all cheering and all wanting that I win. You know, so that's a lot.
Expecting that you win.
Exactly. They really want me to win. Like, I will fail. If I don't win, it's just a fail for everyone. Like, they will be like, hey, you should have won. You're in Spain. Never raced that track before, but hey, you should have won. You're in your home country. And
you won every moto in Spain for the whole year.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yes. So, but, you know, I was telling my close friends, the team and family, I was like, I love it that it comes to the last round because I think also for the future, it's something that I will take like an experience. If I get into the same situation in the future, I probably know how to just go on with the weekend. You know, like how to move. I mean, how to move. How can I explain it?
How to deal with the situation.
Yes, exactly. So
you've been there before.
I've been there before,
so
it's repeat it. You know, and concentrate. It's a weekend where you just need to focus on you.
Yeah.
Really need to stick to do everything like you did the whole year. Like, you can't do crazy things because it's the last race. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I'm there every weekend to win. I just need to do the same now.
Yeah.
So I love pressure. And I was telling them, I love pressure. I love when I need to make it happen now. Like when they tell me now, because that was the time I had to do it. There was no other option. Like I only had to win. Like I couldn't be second. So I love that pressure. And best starts from all year long, coming from the outside. I even risk it because it was a very weird start. Like it was better from the inside, but if you would come from the outside very good, you could kind of cut to the inside and have a lot of corner speed. So I remember going with my mechanic to the gate. I'm like, what do you think? Should I go inside or outside? And he was kind of putting the bike to the inside. I'm like, no, just move 20 gates to the outside. So we went all the way to the outside. I feel like my mechanics, the team were like saying like, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, come on, we are in the last round. Don't risk it that much. I'm like, I know it.
Hold my beer.
I'm like, I will start from there. I told my team, I'm gonna start from there because this is the time to risk it. And if I need to do a good start, I need to do it today. So good starts from really outside, good laps on a track where I was scared when I got there on Thursday. I didn't like the track at all. Super hard, rocky. The worst for me, to be honest. And somehow I rode very good. Like one quali race, won the first moto. And myself and team, we were riding very, very fast first moto, like very fast. And I could get it done. So it was an amazing weekend. Just how I approached the weekend, and I just could manage the pressure so good. I was actually impressed too. Like I knew I was good with pressure, but it was just perfect.
I love the celebration that you had to, like, you're like screaming in Lisa Leyland's face and she's just like,
Yeah, you're like,
whoa.
Yeah.
That, I love that. You know, there's so many times where you don't see that much emotion, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about sport is you get to see the emotion. You can see what it means to a person, and I think that was a special weekend. Like, there's so much around that weekend, right? Like, it was a home race. It was your last race as an MXGP rider. You're about to change your entire life. Like, there was just so much. It was a very hard season. Tim rode
Very
amazing.
Good. He
all
rode
year.
the best he's ever ridden, for sure. Like speed wise, fitness, he was just the best Team Gajser I've ever raced, for sure.
And I think all of that came through. And then to be at home with all of those fans, it was almost like a fairy tale ending to your MXGP career, you know?
Yeah. And like we were talking in the beginning of the podcast, like knowing that it was my last season, I knew that from round one, that it was at the end of the championship, I will be gone.
Win or lose.
I need to make it happen because I wanted to come here as a reigning, like as a world champion. So yeah, it was a lot of pressure all year long. And for the last 3 weeks of the championship, I almost couldn't sleep. Like I had so much pressure from myself to myself, not the team. Like everybody was okay. Like, hey, if you win, you win. If you don't, you did your best, right? So it was hard. Like I almost couldn't sleep. I somehow couldn't recover. Like stress. The body was under stress.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
You wear Aura Ring, right? So you can see your
I know.
stress. Yeah.
I was
Could
worried.
you actually see it?
At one point, I'm like, I'm gonna throw this because for example, the Saturday and Sunday from Spain, like, so the data that I got from the ring, like, was so bad that it was like if I was sick, you know?
Yep.
So when I'm very, very sick, I get those kind of, that data.
Yep.
But I was okay, you know? I was like,
Stress,
I'm
bro.
just good. But like on Saturday morning, you know, I got from the ring, like on the application, it says, are you start feeling the stress? Like I really got that, you know? Like, are you feeling the stress? I'm like,
Yep.
like mentally not, but the body, yes, you know?
Yeah.
Like mentally, I didn't really felt I was stressed by the championship because I was like, I got this, but probably like really deep in my heart, I was like,
Dude,
I feel it.
that's so real. So I wear the Garmin watch and I've been wearing it for years, dude. And you can see the stress. And I would say this exact same thing. I'm like, mentally, I'm all right. I feel fine. Like, yep, life is not easy.
Yeah.
Like, we're running a business. We got employed.
Yes.
Like, we've, you know,
Yeah.
we're busy and shit's going on. But I'm mentally okay. Body, not okay.
Not okay.
Not sleeping properly.
No.
No recovery. Like, you're training, you're burying yourself. Like, your body is completely different to your mind. It's attached, and how you think, and it has an impact on your body. Your body is doing its own thing completely, dude.
Yeah, like I said. So mentally, I felt like every morning I woke up, I was like ready to go on and do my training, do my riding, go to the gym, and I was like, peace. I felt like I was all right, but then the data was super bad. I'm like, I'm not sick.
It's like, you're about to die.
I'm about to die, and then like I don't understand, and it's the first time I ever got this.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, that's how I live
Like
my life.
when was it? Was it in the beginning of the year? No, I think after I can't remember. So I had at one point in the season, I had 1 weekend off, and I was very sick, very, very sick. And I had the same values from that day.
Being sick.
But being
Actually
sick, and I really felt it. It was not like, a little bit. No, I was very sick. So I had the same values the race day from Coulthard, from the last round. I'm like, what is going on? My body just knows the stress. So I'm just trying to avoid it mentally, but the body knows it because there is something there that really matters, and that's why your body's feeling it, because it matters for you. Because if it's something like, hey, if I win, good, and if I don't, it's okay too, then the body would be all right if you really think like that. But if you know that there's only one way, and that's the winning, it's stressful. It's stressful. Amazing.
I bought one for my mum. I bought one for my dad. Bought one for my wife. Bought one for her mum. Like, honestly, everybody should be monitoring their body, their data. A lot of people don't want to, because I think it would scare them into like action, having to actually do some shit. But man, it's a fucking game changer.
Yep.
To really understand, like, the HRV is just the most important variable that you can follow.
HRV that day was so low, man. Like, and heart rate up. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I remember, when was it too? Like, and I went on warm up, and I was like, okay, just do a lap, like, or few corners fast, so I see if I'm really sick or not. I'm like, I'm feeling good. What the hell is this thing saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Do you do like zone 2 training? Like, that's what you do for base?
I do whatever the trainer says.
Yeah, okay.
I follow my program.
Yeah.
We have
So do you do like low heart rate? So just like, and you'll just spin for a while at low heart rate, or?
Depends.
Yeah, okay.
Not that much.
Well, I'll do a lot of like zone 2 running. So I'll just like try and stick below a certain heart rate. And there'll be times, and when I'm stressed and my body's tripping, I'll be running, and I can run for like 2 minutes, and then I got to stop, and I got to like walk to let my heart rate come down.
Drop.
And man, it's just like when you've got the stress and a lot of shit going on, and that HRV's low, you just can't even really train. You can't even, like, if you're going to stick to what your program is like telling you to do.
Sometimes I see my values, and they're like, and I tell my trainer, and he doesn't care. He said, no, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then it's okay. So sometimes it's like you can't really...
Yeah, you can't always go by the
exactly.
data.
So many things affect also your sleep. Like, I don't know, if you have dinner a bit too late, like Spanish people, we sometimes
eat
have
at
dinner.
midnight.
So then obviously in the morning, your heart rate, HRV will be not perfect. That's because you are not fully recovered, or your heart rate dropped way later than normal. So you have these values that you need to really watch out a little bit. Like, you can really take them and say, okay, if today I'm feeling like that, I will do that training. But just have it in mind. If this happens for like 3 days in a row, you're like, okay, there is a real problem, and then you can adjust everything. But to be honest, this year I was all year quite good. You know, I
Level,
didn't really
yeah.
have to adjust anything. Maybe, you know, that weekend I felt very bad. I just didn't train. Was fine, and I just regroup, and I was feeling better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm very happy with the ring.
It's they're good,
For
huh?
the, you know, it just gives you good values, and nowadays it's easy to get sick when you are traveling so much. Airplanes.
Travel is the
and-
thing that ruins me.
I know.
100%, dude. That's I cannot.
And
I-
especially if you know your normal values and you travel and you get to that place and you're like, your values are bad again. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Dude, I don't ever drink alcohol now. Like as soon as you have the watch and you like you establish your sleep pattern, right? And you kind of you're in your window, your baseline.
Yes.
One drink before bed,
Oh, really?
dude. It's crazy. You don't probably drink.
No,
But-
never.
Dude, alcohol, the worst thing for sleep. Fully ruins, I would say, by 50%.
Oh, really?
One drink. So, yeah, I'm just like, for me to actually have a drink of alcohol these days, especially at nighttime, is a massive deal because I see what it does.
Yes.
And
Now you can really see it. Like,
Yep. And you can't hide from it.
no, you can hide.
And so if you travel and drink, bro, you're just digging yourself into a huge hole. And if you live like that, where you're drinking every weekend and you're traveling every weekend, like, dude, no wonder you feel like shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a routine. Also, when, you know, we have our own program, you just follow the program and it's funny because you can see so if you have a kind of training one day, you can see how your body reacts to it. And this is cool because you know where to place it maybe for the future, you know, especially in
Yeah.
the beginning. That's why you know, all the values are important also from your, you know, while you're training, you know, take all the data and analyze it a little bit. It's not that you need to be crazy because we are not cyclists. We are not, you know, we don't do weightlifting or whatever. We are motocross riders, but everything helps to get better in the motocross bike. So the better you get in all the rest, you know, it will probably help you a little bit for motocross. So
Yeah, and I just think for the average person as well, like it's helped my mum massively. Like is crazy, dude. So she retired from work, right? She had a very stressful job. She was like a manager in like a big national company.
all right.
And then she was stressed for years, dude. Like heavy stress.
Yeah.
Got her this watch, and her stress for like months, even after she retired, didn't sleep good, crazy stress. It took months and months of being retired from work for everything to come down. So just like even just the average person, I just can't say enough about like how good it is to monitor
Yeah.
physically where you're at, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important. Like you said, just a bit healthier lifestyle. And then gives you also a different view to everything, right? Because when you wake up and you're feeling bad,
Yeah.
it's like your whole day, it's kind of off, right? You're kind of off the whole day. You're not really motivated. It's weird when I explain that, but once you realize it and you change those your routine into something a bit more healthy, and you start feeling that when you wake up, you have more energy and stuff. You approach the day in a different way too. So this is cool because it happens to us too. You know, when we feel tired, we approach the day in a different way than when we are fully recovered and you're like, okay, let's get it, you know, and you do whatever you want and whatever you need to do. But when you're tired, it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yep, completely. So what was it hard, speaking of hard, was it hard to know from Argentina, and the team probably knew that you'd signed with a different team, different everything? Like, did it change the dynamic at all, or was everyone able to like kind of put that aside?
To be honest, I felt we did quite good. I think
Everyone did good?
Everyone did good. Yeah. Yeah. Starting from my team, like mechanics and team manager, I think was all right. Like, to be honest, was good. Behind the scenes, I don't know. Like, really behind my back, I don't know. But from what I could see, yes. Probably, you know, I couldn't test all the new material they had. Like, I heard, like, at the end of the year, like, there was a different frame. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on?
Give it here.
I'm like, the frame? I don't know about this frame.
Yeah.
So probably also because I came later into the season. So into the year, because they already did the testing in January, February, and I was still racing Supercross here, So maybe they didn't really want to confuse the setup I had, or make any weird changes to the bike when the bike was working good. So maybe this was good, but I just didn't even know something exists. I didn't even have the possibility of saying yes or not, like myself. But it didn't really affect me. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm happy with my bike, so I'm not getting crazy. Then there was a little one part of the bike that came new in the middle of the season. I got it later than all the riders. I don't know if because I'm gas or because they knew I was getting, like, they didn't. It's weird for them to don't give anything, like everything to me, right? Like I was leading the championship or I was second, like they should give me 100%. So I trust that they did 100% to me, or they helped me 100%. So I don't want to look back and say, they for sure didn't do that. They did it on purpose, or I want to just, have a clear mind of saying, hey, I had a great time with them, my team. Like, I know, like, my team, I'm quite sure if they could give me 100%, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fair. What was the dynamic like then between KTM, Husky, and Gas? Like, I know Pierce Brown was in here the other day, and he was saying that, like, the Troy Lee team was just last to get anything, and they wanted a bunch of stuff, and they were trying to make the bike. They could not take. Yeah. He could not take the bike in the direction that he wanted. Is it the same in Europe with Gas on that end of the spectrum, or
it's a good question. I feel like in Europe we are closer to what KTM has. So I feel like KTM and Gas is pretty same. What I think, because I'm, like I told you, I'm not that crazy guy of knowing
which is the move. That's better.
So I don't know if Jeffrey had something on his bike that I didn't have. I don't know. But I feel like the difference is way smaller than here in the US.
Yeah.
Because when I raced for TLD here this year, the first 4 rounds, I could see a clear difference between the different brands.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What could you see?
I don't know. I'm like, when was it? Round 2, and I told to my mechanic, "Hey, why it's Chase running that suspension?" And he was like, "What?" Then he looked, "Oh yeah, that's different." I said, "Why didn't you ask me if I want to try it?" "Oh, we didn't even know."
I think Chase brought a lot of drama to KTM of, like, in terms of, I think at one point he was running KYB inside the forks, and I think they were.
You can't do that in Europe.
You can't do that in Europe.
Impossible.
Dude, you can't do that here.
But you're in the other side of the world.
Yeah.
You have your.
Yeah, you're a little.
You're not that close to the factory, so in Europe, impossible.
Never.
Also, because everyone, it's like suspension guys, are coming directly from WP, but WP factory.
And WP is owned by KTM.
Yep. So I don't think they want to get in trouble with the company.
No.
Here, I don't know how it works. They have WP in-house also, but I think in a different way. They are far away. They can do different stuff.
Yeah.
That would be impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible to do that in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sexton stuff this year was full on. Like, just watching.
It's not easy when you come from a bike
so different.
To KTM, especially this new model. It's different. It's different. So you need to adapt. And if you sign for this brand, you already knew what to expect. So normally when you sign for a brand, you're like, okay, I choose that because of that. So you know what you're getting. Like, it's not that you're getting to a brand and you're like, oh, I thought this was better. No, at the level we are, he for sure tests the bike. He already knew how the bike was feeling. You kind of know what to expect. So once you take a decision, you need to commit with it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is hard because sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right?
Yeah, well, and I think Chase was in a weird spot because I think he wanted to be gone from Honda no matter what. And I think KTM was probably the best, like maybe even the only option.
Yeah.
And they've won a lot of races. Right. They've won a lot of championships. But yeah, I think he probably didn't really have anywhere else to go, in a sense, you know. But I think he made the outdoor bike look great. Like the bike looked in outdoors. I mean, I don't know if you have a different perspective of it, but you know, when you see like, remember old school Herlings, the way that he could make a KTM, it just looked like he could smash the bike.
I have a
into
different
everything.
view to everything.
Yeah, you would for sure.
Because what do you think about Jeffrey this year? I felt like in some races he's never raced like so good as this year.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. I don't think he was faster in 2018. I think we just got better.
Yes.
So it's like if you know Tadej Pogacar? Yeah, the cyclist, the Slovenian, he won Tour de France.
Okay.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You follow cycling a little?
Not really.
If back in the days when I don't know Ricky or James Stewart, they were winning everything. Imagine there would have been another guy with 2 seconds faster than them, and then they maybe don't look that good anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a guy 2 seconds faster.
Yeah.
So I have that
Doing it a different way.
doing it a different way. So, and maybe the bike from James or Ricky that was looking so good would not look that good if that guy, you know,
Was
2
on the
seconds
track.
faster was on track.
Yeah.
So
you think that's a little
It's
bit
the-
of what's happened is that the game has elevated.
yeah,
And I completely agree. Like, there's so many people that say, they're like, oh, James, if James and Ricky were, and it's like, no. That James Stewart is not beating Jet Lawrence. That's not how that's not outdoors right now. That's not, if you took 07 James versus 2024 Jet, that's not happening. The bikes have changed.
Yes.
Fitness has changed. Everything has changed. And yeah, so that's kind of what you're saying about Jeffrey, like a 2017 Jeffrey to now, he would get smoked, but he has elevated with the times.
I don't know, it's smoked, but
not smoked. It's probably wrong word.
I know, but I think we just got way better. I feel like team got way better. Plus, he has a very good bike. I feel like I improved a lot.
Team improved a lot.
That's it. So we both improved way more, and we were better physically. Because you would say, all right, what's the strongest point from Jeffrey? It's the sand, right? Okay, I did all the P1s and time practice all year long in the sand. Like, so speed-wise, could be. It's good. He was second all the time, so similar. Race, I think he made the difference with the lappers. I drop lap times just because there's people on track. He can hammer those laps with people in between, and that's an advantage. You know, that's a skills he has, and it's incredible. I told him so many times, hey, tell me, how do you do that? Like, tell me a little advice, you know, guys. I don't want to lose like 3 seconds a lap in Lomo or 4 seconds a lap in Lomo.
And he was like, no.
He's like, tell me how you start first. I'm like, okay, we stay equal then.
Don't worry about it.
So no, Jeffrey, it's very good in the sand, very fast, but he's very good with the lappers. I think that's where he's making the difference at this point or this year. Also in like Arnhem, I was fighting with team. We had very good lap times, and you know Jeffrey just came when lappers start to show up. So, you know that's a skill from Jeffrey that I actually admire, and I'm like, okay, I need to learn from him. And
what do you think it is?
he told me, because I was speaking at Nations, like I think on
You're like, bro, I'm leaving.
Like,
I'm gone.
Like
just
on
tell
Saturday,
me.
like only Jeffrey and myself were standing at the Red Bull station. Like everything was closed already.
Yeah.
Like they had to kick us out. We were talking the whole time about everything and about the bikes, about championship, and about these two, like lappers. And he's like, I think I'm so used to, because he races all year long. Like he does regional races. He does races where I don't even know who's finishing second or third or fourth. Like he does all kind of races.
Yes.
And maybe he's like taking 10 seconds a lap. He's 10 seconds a lap faster than the guy who's second, you know, in those races. So imagine how many people he needs to lap every time. So he's really used to be in traffic. He knows. I mean, he's not a good starter. So he always needs to come from behind. So he's used to pass people, used to be in between riders. It's like me up front. Like he told me, I can't. When I start first, I can never win a moto. Like he told me, he's like, I'm too stiff. I get arm pump. I don't know how to adjust what speed or lines. It's like for him it's hard, but for me it's easier. Like for me it's easier to start first and come from behind. Even though this year I improve a lot on that, but for me it's easier to start first. And for him, other way around, it's easier to start maybe 5th, 10th, and then come to the front. It's just different riding styles, but it's nice. He's like so good in passing riders. I'm like crazy.
Well, you think too about Lommel, like he spent so much time at Lommel, and just there's 85s on the track, there's 125s on the track, there's guys that are probably 25 seconds a lap slower, you know.
More.
So he's probably so used to just positioning himself and his bike in these, you know, different and probably just not scared of it, not tentative, you know, like there's probably a part of you mentally that's like a little bit reserved in those situations, like second guessing, and he just doesn't have that. He just knows where he's going to go.
And then he has a big advantage too. He's very good when track gets worse than gnarly. Like
the shitter the better.
Like the holes this year in Lommel or Arnhem were unbelievable. Like I can be good for a few laps, like the fastest, no problem. But to do it for 35 minutes, it's just like I explain to my friends or the team, like, so if you go to the gym and you do a squat, I don't know, I said just a number, 100 kilos squat. And that's your maximum, right? And that's like lifting the bike. So you need to lift 100 kilos. 100 kilos, 100 kilos. At one point, if 100 kilos is your max, you can't keep it. Like you can keep it for 35 minutes. You need to go to 70. Yeah, but in Lommel, if you need to lift 70 kilos, you're not lifting the whole bump, so you're done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and he has the peak from 200 kilos. I have from 100. So
Yes.
I just can't. Like, I don't have that strength, like pure strength. Like, it's not even physical. Because at one point in Lommel, I'm like, I just can't lift anymore. You know? I'm like, I'm good, but it's 1, 2, 3. That's only one corner.
Dude, you just explained how I feel riding motocross. I'm like, I got 2 laps in me where I can go as fast as these people, but then after a while, my fucking eyes start watering. I mentally can't keep doing like that. Whatever it is that it takes for me to do those couple of laps,
But that's
can't
Jeffrey.
do it.
Jeffrey's special for that. Like, if we go back to what we said from James, if Jeffrey was not there, I would win all the sand races.
Yeah.
I would be Sandman. You know, like the fastest man. But I'm not, because Jeffrey's there, you know?
Yeah.
But that's cool, because I told Jeffrey, I said, you're the motivation why I stay here the last years in the GPs.
Really?
Yeah, I told him. When I signed my first 450 contract, I signed because I wanted to beat Jeffrey. That was the only goal. My goal was even like to beat Jeffrey and then the championship, you know, but first Jeffrey. I think I even said it here last year, but I told him at Nations, I'm like, hey, thanks because you were my motivation all this time. You're the guy I always look to in the GPs. Like, I need to beat this guy.
That's so cool.
So fast. I feel like he rides very good the bike. He's aggressive, yeah. He rides it in a different way, but if you look carefully to him, he does very nice things. And he looks aggressive, but at the same time, he's smooth. It's hard to explain. He's like, if you see him turning, it's so smooth, but he's just hard on the throttle.
Yeah.
But he's smooth, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always look up to him.
He's a cool guy too. Like he's a he's like the Max Verstappen of motocross, you know, just so confident. It's like that Dutch cockiness. Like there's a way that Dutch dudes are, like top Dutch athletes. He is like that stereotype. There must be just something in the culture.
In the culture, yeah. I don't
You know, like savages. Like he's a fucking savage dude. All the facets of his life, like making money, like all these different ways to be like, not like to be a dude, but all the different things that he's into, like savage. And that's a very, I don't know, it's like a special mentality that he's got. But he's also, I feel like he's very honest. Like he has no problem saying where you're better than him or where other guys are better.
I would say more the last
couple of years,
2-3 years. I would say. I think he became more like that. I don't think old Jeffrey would say that. I think he would agree too.
Yeah.
I think right now he maybe changed his mentality a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, getting older. A lot
getting
of
older,
like injuries.
injuries.
You get humbled a little bit in life.
Their competition is getting better, so you can't win every single moto anymore.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just difficult, you know?
Yeah. It must have been cool to have that conversation knowing that you're leaving, you're not going to be competitors anymore. Like that chapter's almost closed. Because, I mean, even when I was at Trentino and we were all in the energy, we were all just kind of talking. There's like a certain tension between you guys, but it's not in a negative way.
No.
But it's like like me and you are talking, and he's listening to what you're saying.
Yeah,
and then you're not talking to me the way that you would normally talk to me, and then I'm talking to him, and then you're listening. It was like you could just tell the vibe and the tension between you guys, and it makes total sense.
I mean, it's different the way we talk during the year than the way we talked maybe on nations,
for sure.
after the race. Like,
yeah, that must be cool though.
But I mean, it's normal. Come on, we are fighting for the title. I don't want to talk too much about some things to give you an advantage. I don't know, you know. And
you get massive paychecks from the same company. Like there's definitely a weird dynamic there.
Well, to be honest, I don't even think about the money. Never. I never think about the money.
Winning takes care of money.
It's funny because one guy came in at Nations, like a friend from the team, and he it's good. You go to America, you go for the money. It's a good job. I will do the same. I'm like, hey, stop now. If you start talking like this to me, you better leave. My team was like, what is he doing? I'm like, hey, I don't do this for the money. Like, I don't ride for money. I don't come to America for the money. I just come because I won my world title. I want to get another title in the US. I want to experience racing in the US. It's been always my dream since a little kid. I don't do it for the money. If I would do it for the money, I would go MotoGP. You think I'm stupid or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or I would maybe stay in Europe. And get more bonus because I would know better how the championship works already with all these years. I could maybe get another title instead of going to the US, and maybe because it's a new experience racing Supercross and I don't have any experience pretty much. So maybe results are not that great in the beginning. I would lose money. Like not lose, but I would not gain as much as I maybe in Europe. So I said, stop. I don't talk about money because it's something that I like. It's not that I don't talk about money. It's I don't do this for the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and I
do it because I love it. I love riding dirt bikes, and obviously, I mean, it need to compensate a little bit, right? You can't come here and ride for free, right? Life is expensive, especially in California.
Brother, don't even tell me. Don't even tell me about it.
$8 for a coffee? Stop it.
Right.
It's a full breakfast in Spain, like a good big breakfast, like almost lunch.
We were driving from Vegas for SMX. I bought me and Ronan a coffee. It was $17 US dollars. That's like 33 Australian dollars, bro. I'm like, can you please say that again? Do you have my order wrong? I just bought 2 coffees. No, and just lattes. Nothing crazy. No fucking caramel, no syrup,
like
no
a latte
cream.
in Europe is like maybe €2.
Yes, yeah, 2 or 3 euros.
Not more than that. €2.20 maybe.
Bro, my rent here is out of control.
Same. Like these numbers in Europe, it's like it's hard to find. It's hard to find those numbers in Europe.
Yeah.
Like
you could be living like a fucking king, dude. Yeah. Anyway, totally different conversation.
Yeah, like last year I got so I went to the coffee shop and ordered a coffee. So I saw the price. I'm like, okay. So paid. I wait for a coffee. The lady gave me the coffee, and I was waiting I thought like maybe it comes with a cookie, you know, or something. For that price, I thought I get something more. And like, no, that's it. I'm like, for $8, I should maybe get even a bag of cookies. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Prices are crazy
It's wild.
It's expensive here.
Yeah, really wild.
So we better win some main events or whatever.
Start winning some
Start
shit.
winning,
Yeah. It's that convo with Jeffrey though. Like, it must have been a very cool like that was probably the first real conversation that you could have with him because of all of the factors going away. You know and you could get that vibe off him. Like, it just really changed the dynamic.
I know him since 2012. So it's a long time. But yeah, I mean, at Nations, we start talking about everything. I mean, life-changing, come and race here in the US, different bike. We talk about that too. We talk also about how, everything changed the last years in the team, like the structure in Europe, with the new bike and stuff. So it was cool to have another view from everything, from him, a person, a rider that's been forever also in KTM. So it was cool that we pretty much had the same ideas and we pretty much think the same about the most of the things. So I was like, luckily it's not only me, because sometimes you think it's just yourself, but clearly, there was something there.
Yeah, and KTM has changed, like in a pretty big way. Like my brother is a sports agent, and so he's worked for Toby Price forever, like since before Toby was even on KTM, like factory KTM, right? And so he's done all his contract negotiations for the last 10 years. The guy's won multiple Dakars, like world championship, everything. And it's like they posted I can't remember the wording of it, but like he loses his job after a podium at Dakar and then gets an Instagram post saying like, it was just weird. The whole thing was weird. And I'm like, that isn't KTM. Like, that's not the KTM that I have known of for a very long time. Yep. That's not the KTM that you would expect. It was just, in the last couple years, the last couple contracts, the way that things go, how hard things got, it's just everything changed. Like, there's a whole dynamic. And maybe that's a natural progression of a company getting so big and, you know, changing. But, I mean, even you hear the reports of, I think, 2023, it was either 23 or 24, they spent like 160 million euros on racing. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, now we need to get it to 100.
Yeah,
and it's like almost
like now they need to kind of,
so it's like, just a lot of really like big changes. And you can just see in the way that like it's almost like made space for other brands to excel now. They've just felt like there was a time period where like no other brands could even do good because of how good KTM was doing.
KTM was number one.
And it's changed. It really seems like it's changed.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I actually grew up racing KTM 65, 85, and 125, 250. And I feel like pretty much my last year 250, I think KTM was number one, like clear number one. Also because the structure they have in Europe was real factory structure, and maybe the rest of the brands, like I think Honda HRC came later. So they were in the GPs, then they went away, and then they came again later. But in that period, KTM was number one.
Yes.
So when they came, it needed some time to develop again a good bike or a super competitive bike. And then also the rest of the brands, like Yamaha was not really into it as it is now the last years, or Kawi or these brands. So KTM took advantage of that. Plus, they had a good structure, good team, good people working. A good bike, and the other ones just step it up, I feel like.
Well, and I think that's the other thing that I think is very important to add, right? Where would Japanese motorcycles be if there was no KTM? I don't think that'd be as good. I honestly don't. I don't think that without KTM, mate. Can you remember when KTM put a hydraulic clutch on a dirt bike? Everyone said they were just...
I don't know.
Everyone said they were stupid. Like when I was growing up, KTM kicked the mother, keep taking money. Like they were so far behind for so long, especially when I was growing up racing like 04, 05, 06, 07, like that era. mate, you wouldn't be dead riding a KTM, like a big bike.
Yeah.
85, 65,
Yes.
different story.
Yeah.
But you look at electric start.
Yes.
You look at the
Yep.
hydraulic clutch. You look at all these changes, like the Brembo brakes. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot
A lot.
of things that KTM innovated, and the Japanese manufacturers had to make an answer to
Yeah,
that.
they
you know,
had to respond to it, and I think they did in a very good way, especially the last years.
yeah. And it's like maybe it just come at a time where like that wasn't sustainable for KTM, and the other manufacturers ramped up as they maybe like weren't able to sustain that. And then also you have to think the new investment in MotoGP
Well, they
with
always tell us.
multiple brands.
They always tell us it's not going to affect
Bullshit.
motocross. That's what they say.
Bullshit.
They said we have the money for motocross. MotoGP, it's something different.
Yeah. That's
I don't
not
know.
how.
I don't know.
that's not
I'm
how
just a
it's
writer,
going.
you know. I don't know what's. I don't know.
But I don't think that's how it's actually worked. But I mean, dude, the MotoGP stuff's sick. Like
Yeah.
they've been crushing.
They're still racing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so done after the year, and then I see these guys still racing. I mean, they have a completely different schedule. They also had like holidays, like pretty nice holidays in the middle of the season, like the
Summer break
break,
and all that sort
which
of
is
stuff.
good. But yeah, then now they extend the championships for so long. It's almost like a little bit too much, I guess,
Yeah.
for them and for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you did sign the contract to Kawi, how did that process work? So you obviously did well here, like for Supercross. I think you did really, really well. And I think given, I don't know what did you feel about the expectations people had of you? Or like that whole, when you were here and people like you get into the media world of the US and the online world of the US and the podcast talking about you and the reporters and the fans and like, what did you think people expected of you in Supercross this year?
That's a good question because I didn't even think about it. I think
Didn't?
no.
So, but
I didn't-
when you were here and you started doing it, like what
I
did
was
you feel?
not.
Just
I don't
didn't
know.
pay attention.
I didn't pay attention to that. I was like just thinking like, okay, let's do these races and get back home safe. I remember racing A2. Was my last round, and I think I was like around 8th place. And at one point, I even got scared. Like I'm like, oh, I need to get back to Europe. I cased a little bit the rhythm section. I'm like, come on, I just need to finish this easy because I need to
Easy
get
guy.
back.
Easy
I need to go back to Europe. So it didn't allow me to really, race to my fullest, or at least to give my 100%. And also, I didn't spend much time testing, like pretty much zero. So I was not feeling comfortable with my bike. Plus, I had to get back to Europe. It was hard for me to really like be very good. But about expectations, I thought I could do top 10. But then I saw the tracks on race day and were very different to what I trained on test tracks. So then I was confused because A1, I saw the whoops. I'm like,
you had
what
to jump
the
through
hell?
the whoops and you've
I-
never even done
No,
it.
then nobody told me I had to jump through the whoops. So I tried a few times to go like on top of them, and I missed the whole section. And again, and then I had to change line, and then I had to try to jump, and then I wheel tap something, and then I over wheel tap the other thing. I'm like, what's going on? So then I'm like, oh, racing, it's a totally different thing than going to the test track. Also, it was weird because I felt better always on press day because the dirt was always hotter,
Yeah.
and I could turn better than on
Bit
real
more like
race day.
test track style.
Yeah. So on press day, I was like so loose, so good, and then race day, I'm like, oh, feeling a bit more tight.
Well, because it starts off so wet and sloppy, and,
Yep.
and then every practice, like the track's just changing so much every single time
Yes.
you're out there.
So I don't know. I think some people thought like, he will get here and maybe fight for the win. Maybe. Some of them would say, no, he would not even qualify. So there's a little bit of everything, I guess. It only the ones that are close to me really know, okay, he can do that or not even qualify. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they should know. I didn't even know. I didn't know the level of the riders, kind of from the test track, but it's not the same. But like, for example, so Anaheim 1, I was in Group B for time
I
practice,
remember, yeah.
and I qualified 9th. I was the second best rider from the whole KTM group. From the whole KTM, I was Chase, I think, was like third or something like that, and I was ninth, coming from Group B. So I'm like, it's not too bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
can
too
do
bad.
this.
And
Yeah.
I think I qualified ninth for a few rounds. So like, and only like a second and a bit from the first. So I'm like, wow, not a bad start. Not a bad start. But I thought if the track would have been a bit more hard and a bit better for me.
Yeah. So when did the talks with Kawasaki start? Or were there other teams interested? And when did you decide that I wanted to come back here and do this?
Yeah. So
I feel like you wanted to the whole time.
So it was funny because I raced A1 and then we've been already talking with Kawi, like my agent was talking with Kawi already for a long time. And
About more GPs or US?
good question. I think more about like everything, just
Yeah.
or GPs or US. But my goal was to have an option race to race here. So I was looking more to race here than really in the GPs. So I raced A1, and then after A1 that week, like every brand called me, like all the brands. So it was nice. I got offers from the different brands, and but I felt like Kawi was the most interested one. Well, not the most interested one, but I felt like the program from Kawi was gonna suit me better. So that's why I also chose to ride for them. So yeah, my agent was here. He went to meet with them. My father too. They saw the whole thing. They explained how everything worked. We liked it, and pretty much after A2, we knew already, like it was done pretty much. I just had to wait and sign like little details, and then I signed in Argentina, which was 3 weeks after that, or pretty much, or 4 weeks. So
Yeah.
it went quite quick.
What was it about Kawi that appealed to you so much?
First of all, the bike.
Yeah.
I really liked when I was racing in Europe, I saw Febre's bike, and I was like,
Dude.
ooh, looking good.
Last year, I remember at Arco, after the finish line, I've talked about it so many times. I watched every fucking lap of that GP, and Febre's bike looked the best out of everybody. It sounded different. Like after the finish line, before the inside on the left, just through the bumps. It was crazy, dude. And it was so obvious. It looked like his frame sucked up bumps as well as the suspension. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah, so that's one reason. Then I saw Jason race A1. Was like, bike's good.
What did you see in the bike?
I feel like the balance of the bike was so good all the time. Like just how it moved through the whoops looked amazing. And then the structure of the team, how professional the team is, the technology they use, just everything was, I feel like was just perfect. And I feel like I told them the other day at the test track, I told them, hey, if I had like a white paper, empty one, and I would say, okay, I could choose everything, like from gear to bike to everything, I would write what I have right now. Like, that's what I want, and I have it. So I feel so happy, just because it's the first time I can choose exactly what I want in my whole life. Like, I was free for everything, no contracts anymore. Okay, new mindset for 25. What do you want, Jorge? I said, I want this, this, and this. And it all worked because it was not only me wanting that, but them, they want me too. So it can't get better than that. Mutual. It's perfect.
It's sick. I'm fucking happy for you, bro.
Thank you.
Like, honestly, you deserve that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have grafted for so long to get to that point, and to be smart in the game. Like, you guys have, as a team and as a group, like with your parents and obviously your agent, like smart decisions. Contracts coming up at the end, all of them at the right time. Like, just to be able to like you took care of what you needed to take care of. You won races. You came
Yeah.
to America. You did well. Your agent's obviously taken care of what he needed to take care of. Your parents have been there with you the whole
Yes.
time. Like to be at this position right now, to be able to just start a completely new chapter of your life, still super young.
Yeah.
Like crazy. You can spend 10 years racing here,
Yeah.
dude. You know? And
I'm happy
for you.
because I see everyone so motivated too, and also like talking to the guys from Kawi and the team manager and crew chief and everything. It's like they are so motivated with me coming over. They just put they like the whole structure of the team. It's like they thought about everything to make me feel comfortable. You know, from my mechanic to suspension guy to everything. So that's cool, right? When they really think about everything to make you feel good. They're always there if I need something. And that's only Kawi. Then the guys from Fox, like, did you see I'm driving with a pickup, like the truck from Fox. Like I didn't even have a car when I got here. They're like, hey, don't worry, we give you one for, you know, some time now. And so I'm driving with that till I get a car. And I mean, so cool. So I signed with Fox, and they've been all year long coming up and down, like even to the races. We would meet like on Friday at my hotel room and test gear. Like they would come with boots, different boots, like all the way to Europe, and then to just have everything perfect. So when I get on the bike, I feel good. So like I'm very happy with them. Like different designs coming for this season, and I think we'll be quite good. Like we are working on some things that are pretty cool.
That's sweet. And so Fox was the company that you wanted to ride for?
Yeah.
What was it? Is there like some old nostalgia behind that?
I don't know. I feel like growing up, I was always looking up to Fox and Fox riders, and I feel like whoever was wearing Fox looked great on the bike. Like even if he would like the same rider with different gear, it's like not the same style, but like with Fox, it's really the brand. I feel like also when it was like 65, 85, those years, like Fox was like the brand, like really the brand, like new designs, completely different looks. Still now, you know, so different colors of gear that they use every single weekend. So that's cool just to look different. Now they have the speed suit too, you know, and that's something super cool.
Yeah, you're excited about that?
Yep, totally. I love it. I would like to race with it. So,
do you think that have you raced in it? Have ridden in it yet?
yeah,
And is there like performance differences?
so good,
It
so comfortable.
it
It's
makes sense.
It's like a pajama. No, I'm not joking. It's like, and fresh. Like you would think, it's like one piece, so feels like I don't know, like not so much ventilation, but there's a lot of air circulation in the thing, like from the front to the back. So good. Light.
It makes sense to do it. Like there's so many times when, you know, seat bouncing, just like riding a 450 in general. Like, I mean, I put a seat bump on my Yamaha.
Oh, really?
Crazy difference, bro.
You
Have
like
you ever
it?
ridden with one?
I don't like it.
Dude,
That bump?
Yeah.
No.
Bro, for me, like the 450, my Yamaha 450 is so fucking fast for me. So like to be able to,
But you seat bounce riding motocross tracks or what?
oh, bro, vet tracks and shit, you know, little seat bounce out of corners. Hey, we're not doing the same sport, you and me, all right? But the feeling of like to be locked in that way and not have like pants coming down, and like it makes a difference. Like
so with Fox, we really work on that, like really have everything perfect. So when I start or I need to seat bounce something, that my pants are not even moving, you know, or if they move in the right way to don't make me feel like I'm sliding.
Yeah.
So that's something super cool. And also the shirts, you know, tight shirts. I think it's even safe. Like, you know, in the starts when you're touching bars with someone, I feel like it's better when you're, you know, tied to the body. And
well, you think about so many sports have that one piece kind of suit, you know, like surfing in a wetsuit. You got MotoGP.
Plus,
they're in leathers.
I think for the design, it's cool. Like one piece, I think it's better to, you know, adjust the design to it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Have you got? You're probably going to be able to do like a lot of your own design, like because Thor really hasn't. They're like, man, dude, remember Thor in like 04, 05, 06, 7, 8 even. Dude, they had like McGrath, they had Chad, they had Pastrana. Dude,
All right, I know.
oh, they were the shit. And it just feels like that progression hasn't really come in with those guys over the last
they had
few
some
years.
cool designs this year, like different
Which ones?
models. Thor,
You reckon?
like better than the year before.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like they step it up also in quality a little bit.
Yeah.
But Fox, it's
It just,
it's
yeah.
other level. Like
yeah.
it's Fox and pretty much the rest.
Yeah, and I think that with Fox, you have so much more of a way to express your personality.
Yes.
With those,
And they're open for everything.
Yeah.
Like open for everything. And this is cool. They have great people working there. Like
You're working with Kenny a bunch?
yeah, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came every day now to the track.
Sick. Yeah, they
He saw me
do-
ride the first time on the Kawi now.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Ah.
first and the second and the third and the fourth time. Like he was
So
at the
he's
test
like
track.
just making sure he's out of the track with you.
So I feel like the first days now he's been coming because we've been testing different pants, different like the speed suit, gloves, helmet, because everything is customized. Like
Yeah.
my helmet, they did like a scanner. They brought that to Europe, like a full like machine, like big one, and so they scan my head, they scan my feet too, so my boots fit perfect, and it's just perfect.
That's crazy, eh? That they scan your head and your feet.
Yeah. So and then they take the measurements from my body, so the shirt is fitting just
It's
perfect,
tailored,
and
yeah.
and then with the pants, because I have big I have Ortema knee braces, and they're quite big, like in the front part, and to adjust that so it's sitting good, and when I'm moving around the bike, it's that I'm feeling loose, So
Pretty
it's cool,
sick.
cool people, cool brand, everything new.
But before we get into this podcast, we have some breaking news. Manscaped now offers beard products and they are available in your country. It's time to tame your mane, so say goodbye to all your stubble trouble with Manscaped's new Beard Hedger Pro kit. They have created 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. First, there is the beard shampoo and conditioner, the beard balm that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Beard Pro Kit also comes with 3 free gifts, a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is always ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code GYPSYGANG at manscaped.com. Manscaped Beard Hedger. 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths. What else is new that you've got going on? I know they're very excited.
Monster.
Very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. We have some projects, and hopefully everything comes out and we have something cool.
Yeah. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
Like to go from Red Bull to Monster. That's like
And from KTM Group to Kawi. I mean, it's like fully opposite. I feel like, no, what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's just it's literally the complete different or like the complete opposite ends of
complete
the
opposite
spectrum.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I think, exciting. You've just been doing the same thing for so long, and like these new relationships, like, so I know the dudes at Monster are just like frothing, like I've had some calls with like Nixon, he's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, like that energy, no matter how long you are with a company,
Yeah.
that energy fades over time because you become routine, you become...
I felt like it happened this to me a little bit. Well, not to me, but to the company.
Yeah.
Or maybe I never got to the point where they were that excited,
In Red Bull? Or just KTM and
The
like
full thing.
the whole thing?
Yeah, the full thing.
Yeah.
Didn't. So I felt like I was never super priority.
Yeah.
Like if I would say something, they would maybe think twice or 3 times, or didn't even, or don't even take care of what I was saying.
Yeah.
And this really hurts me because, we would talk in the last podcast about the 22 bike, and that year was terrible, and it's in the back of my head still. Like, you guys didn't believe when I said these things didn't work and this had to be changed, and we are all happy because I won the last 2 titles. I was good enough to try to adapt to the bike as much as I could, and then build something together with you guys. Obviously, you guys also did, your work to make me feel better on the bike, but you had to wait till I get the title to really be like, okay, you were right. And
Yeah,
I felt like this year I was able to do more what I wanted to because I got the title last year, and I could show them, hey,
you had a bit more leverage.
I can do it. Like, if I can do it, if there is something wrong, it's that the bike I didn't like the bike, but I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there is I totally relate to what you're saying, like you want to go where you're wanted, and
Yes.
you want to be a part
And
of
not only wanted, but I told Kawi, like, we had one, so I signed the contract, and then mid-season, we had like a video call with the whole group. I remember I was in Lommel, like just before riding, and I told them, I have one question. I'm going 100% out, like all out. When I'm riding, when I'm training, I give my 100%. So I expect you guys to do the same. And they were like, well, we are here 200% for you. All right, deal, done. That's it. That's what I wanted to hear. I don't want regrets. I want that everybody is as motivated as I am, because I give my life to this sport, and that's what they told me as well. So, and they're showing it at the moment. Still full years ahead of us.
Yeah.
The next 3 years. So
I think even
we'll
that,
see.
man, 3 years. Like, that's a big commitment for a company
Yes.
to make into an athlete, especially in motocross and supercross.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, you want to feel valued, and you want to feel like, you're a priority kind of guy. And that makes a fucking big difference. Like, I feel that with sponsors. I feel that with people where it's like, when you got people that are willing to make...
Like, you can feel the difference.
Yeah.
Like, you really feel the difference between someone that's just working with you because needs to work with you, or someone that really wants to work with you. Like, yeah. Like, on a small scale, like, for example, I was so happy with my mechanic the last 2 years, my training mechanic. He's been going all out with me. Like, I would say, come, let's pack the van and
I remember you telling me.
go to Spain.
Yeah.
Go to Spain.
Yeah.
He was in US here last year.
Yeah.
He wanted to stay, but they had also like mechanics here, so he couldn't. But and again this year, all out, everything he could, he would. So you can feel the difference between people that really, really want the best for you, or just be there because they need to work or whatever. And coming back to Kawi, for example, I got here and they said we have these different options. We start with the base option, but then we made Brock ride as close as you ride to get another option that maybe suits you better. So they were already thinking for months on how we can get Jorge feel better, or more comfortable, or a bike that would fit better, like just his riding style. And Brock has been doing these tests also, like also for the engine, the bike that I said was so powerful.
Yeah.
He's been riding with that bike because I was asking for power. So they said, hey, Brock, you got to ride this bike because Jorge wants power. So he's like, all right, let's try that. So he's been riding with that bike too, for example. So it's nice because with these little things, well, it's not little, it's like these big things, they show that they really care and they are prepared to do anything.
And that's the true test, right? Like, it's very easy to say things. People show love by their actions, not by their words.
Yeah, because it's not like I come to the team and they're like, hey, Jorge. No, everybody's good, fine. They do their job and they show it. I don't need that you come and be my best friend, but I could see that you're doing your job the best you could, and this is nice.
Yeah.
And then plus I would say we have a very good relationship all in the team. Like, there is a good environment. Like, you can feel it when you get to the track, and I'm just happy, with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm happy. They're happy with me. I need to get to know them more, and they need to get to know me more by the time. But it's cool. It's cool. I also have a different mentality coming from Europe, and so I think sometimes it's funny, the way I talk. Also, because my English is like not perfect, so I sometimes say funny things, but I know I'm not saying it right, and I joke with it. So it's like.
Have you spoke much, or has your agent spoke much to like Feld and Supercross at all?
A little bit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think
so in Indonesia, one of the guys from Feld was there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's important because like what we have, right? This is the reality of the situation. This is me, like big picture, fucking media talk about the sport
but I
kind of
think
guy.
the big things are coming from their side.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard about it.
I know about the next because I heard you on a podcast talking about it, so I just said it.
Okay. Perfect.
I think it will be cool.
You think it's happening?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's sick.
I think something will happen.
No one's told me, but I'm fucking.
Something will happen, and I think that will be great for the sport.
Dude, and you're great for the sport. Like this is objectively what's happening. The best rider from Europe, young, good-looking dude, is now signed for one of the premier teams with the sponsor of Supercross as one of his sponsors, and he is coming from Europe to America to try and be one of the best in the world in this discipline.
Be the best
In the world. And it's like, that's amazing, and like, I know you on a personal level as well, like fucking good dude, great for the sport, actually cares, actually is a good dude as well. Like there's so many times where you could have a star of the sport that's just like, I mean, not that cool of a guy to like be around or, so it's like to just have that package. And then you've got Jet, who's the same, a great dude, unbelievable talent, young guy, good looking guy. You've got Hayden, they are so fucking switched on with like this whole landscape and what's going. He says the wrong thing, that's the right thing all the time. He's got an amazing team behind him. And again, knowing that good people, like actually very good people that really care and really want the sport to go forward. Like we're just in such a crazy time, right? I don't think the sport has ever been in a better place.
I think we're in a very good time for the sport overall, especially here in the US.
Yeah.
It's just good. Like Jet's been winning so much, and this is good because when you have a guy that's winning, that much, you want another guy to beat him, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Danger that's coming.
Yeah.
Hayden. Also lately I've been following, he's winning also everything, so that's cool, right?
Yeah.
And also his attitude and everything, so more aggressive, kind of like older style of mentality, kind of, no? Of racing.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. Great riders. I'm coming now to the US and race here as the world champion, so it's not happening that often that all these things are at the same time, right?
100%, man. And
we have the big brands, all the big brands involved at the moment, like the big manufacturers. They all have factory teams.
Yeah.
Because there are, sometimes
Ducati's coming. Triumph is in.
Yep. So more brands are even jumping in. So it's going to be a big show.
Yeah. No, it's very exciting. And I think as well, I mean, I at least get the impression from you that if Feld asked you to go and do Jimmy Fallon or like a radio show or a talk show or a TV series or you would do that. Like I feel like you're the kind of guy that's like also willing to invest in the sport and like be a part of it growing. Like I think a lot of people say they are, but I don't think they actually are. There's guys where it's like, we're not doing that unless we're getting paid. And it's just like, so you actually don't. It's not
working like that.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck in the way that you tell people you do.
I've been, for example, last year, not this year, but last year, after my title, I spent like a week in Spain, and I was going to all these different programs and also like big TV programs, like very big TV programs. I mean, if you're expecting to get paid, you have already the wrong mentality, right? it's already nice that you can get in there. Like, it's already nice for the sport that you can talk about it. That's, even if it's a little bit, because sometimes you don't even talk about motocross, but they know you're a motocross rider. So I think it's great to show to the world that motocross exists and that it's the best sport out there. I think in Spain, it's been growing now. More people is riding motocross bikes. Gates are getting full in the Spanish championship. More teams are coming out of Spain to race European or World Championship. So, we can see, a little bit of that progress. So this is cool. This is cool. We need that.
Could you feel so you actually could feel a difference from, because I remember, was it right before you did the show last time? You were saying that you were going on all these different Spanish TV shows.
Yes.
And so you could feel a difference?
Maybe not from last year to this year, but I could feel maybe in the races, more fans this year. Like all the Spanish Grand Prix had so many fans, so many. Especially the last one too. I had my own GP this year, not own GP, but at my track,
Yeah.
where I'm born.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, some people think it's it's in Spain and that's why I call it my own GP. No. It's 15 minutes from where I grew up. The track I used to ride when I was little, it's 2 minutes from that racetrack because they built a different track.
Like a mini bike track and a big bike track?
No. So you have the track where I've been always riding when I was little. And that's a proper track. You could race GPs there, but they built another track just for the GP 2 minutes away. Not even 1K away. And that's where, we had the Grand Prix there this year. We had Spanish Championship for the first time in 23. We had the Spanish Championship in 24. And we had the GP in 24 there. So it was crazy having the GP in my city. My city, when I'm born. It's crazy. It's I don't know. It's so Hayden Deegan, he's from California, from Temecula, no?
Yeah.
So if
Parla's his home GP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the same.
Yeah.
But it never happened that someone had a GP like that, in their city, plus a city that doesn't know anything about motocross. It's the first time they saw bikes flying.
Wow. That must have been a cool feeling.
Yeah. Very cool.
Just to be able to bring that to your hometown, What are you looking at there, Rones? I'm trying to find it. Is this it?
That's Madrid. But yeah. So that's the first video. It's from Galicia.
Okay.
Yeah. And that track was very nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They did a good job of it?
They did a good job. I raced their Spanish Championship and stuff, and was okay, but for the GP was way better.
It does look quite good, actually.
Yeah, we had so it was a bit faster track.
That doesn't even look like Spain.
That doesn't look like MXGP.
That's good. Dude, that track actually, I didn't watch this race.
This section was crazy. You would single and then 3, and then you have all rollers going up the hill. Wow.
Yeah, that honestly does look
That's
amazing.
where second moto, my gate didn't drop. Also Jeffries.
Oh.
Didn't you see that?
I didn't see it. No, dude.
Go farther in the highlights.
There's too much racing.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
right,
exactly there.
this.
Look,
You won this moto though, right?
I won all the motos there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Where are ya? Oh, dude! No
You
way!
see?
Oh, they fully.
No,
did
but
the
we
drop.
restarted.
Oh,
yeah,
they did.
yeah. I was 7th, first lap.
No
so when
way.
I was 7th already when they red flag.
Oh, that's insane.
I was wide open everywhere.
Really?
I had.
Hey, so you can pass people.
Yeah, so there, I'm all right.
That is loose,
Crazy.
dude. So then this
see
is
there?
that.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Right. Man, you never see
No.
it that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that looked.
We were what the hell?
Jeff's blowing up.
Jeffrey and myself were what the hell just happened?
Dude, that's the one thing I love about Jeffrey. He doesn't give a fuck. He is just gonna blow up about shit, eh? He doesn't care if he's. There was a press conference.
Yeah, I think 3 rounds ago.
Yeah, and he just
Turkey or-
roasted everything. Good.
Yeah.
Like,
But to be honest, we said this already. I said that not open like on a press, but I went directly to the in front office. We went with Sewer too in 22. We didn't even race the quali race for that.
I remember that.
So not only talking, but we actually didn't even race. Also Team was leading the championship and he didn't race it.
Really?
Yeah, like he actually risked a lot there.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, we don't race quali race if this doesn't get changed.
In front doesn't like.
For the next round, Sewer and Team, they didn't allow their trucks to get in the paddock.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like the camper and stuff, they had some problems.
Well, when I went to Arco, I don't know if I spoke about this, but I applied for a media pass. It's like for my like I'm media,
Yeah,
right?
you're
So
media.
like that's what it's good for me to do that, right? And just to be there properly. And then I had one of the guys who's like he's like, oh, they really weren't that happy with you. And I'm like, me? What the fuck did I do? The episode with Jeffrey.
Oh.
Where Jeffrey was letting it hang out about the GPs. And, hey, that's a rider criticising the organisation that he races for. That's not on me.
I mean, if they would have done it better, we wouldn't say anything, right?
Well, and the thing is if you go to them in private, which you did,
We did.
and it doesn't change,
No.
what are you supposed to do?
No.
Where do you go? You have to say things publicly.
And that's why we get points this year for the quali race. And last year,
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah.
said in 22, we said, okay, we don't race quali race.
Yeah.
And then they said, all right, no problem, we put points. So
Yeah.
then we can't say no anymore.
Yeah.
But, I don't like these games. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Well,
fix it.
And so that was, anyway, they basically were like, oh, are you going to say anything bad about us? And I'm just like, dude, I
You're
actually,
the bad guy now.
yeah. And I'm like, first of all, if you give me a media pass or you don't give me a media pass, I'll buy a ticket, I'll go to the race.
Yes.
I can say whatever I want. I don't,
Exactly.
At this point, I hadn't even been to a GP when Herlings
Really?
did the pod. Oh, I went to one. I went to US GP. Never
Alright.
been to a Euro GP, right? So it's like, dude, that happened when I wasn't there. So like all you're doing
Yeah.
by telling me that like, oh, you can't, we might not give you this, we might say not. Hey, no, that's just not how this shit works.
No.
I'm either going to be there or I'm not going to be there, and it's not going to change what I'm going to say
I mean,
about the sport.
You do a good job.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
I've been following also the press conference and stuff sometimes from the guys here.
Yeah.
And when you are allowed to make some questions, I think you make pretty cool questions. Not just how was the race to the winner, like how was, of course
Good.
it's been good. What do you think? Like,
Yeah.
no, bad race. I'm not happy with win. Come on.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty
nice,
easy,
It's
yeah.
nice to make different questions and also brings a bit fun to the riders now because we are sitting there and if they just ask you like just simple questions and just the questions like everybody's asking, it's like repeat all the time the same. It's
Yeah.
nothing cool. And then we are spending time there for nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that how you do it. And also here at the podcast, we talk about so many different things and, I can give my point of view on,
Yeah.
so many different subjects. So
No, I
think
appreciate it.
this is cool, right?
Yeah, and it's good for the sport. Like, and it was one of the things that I found it. I was a bit like, it was shocking in a way because it's like this is their words.
Yeah, I feel like in Europe we are MXGP
it's
is
very
like,
protective and
Exactly.
very like.
but also the teams and everything. Like I feel like here in the US, everybody's like way more open. Like they talk about everything to everyone. Maybe
Yeah.
too much. I don't know, but
it's
like
the
Europe,
thing
it's
that-
way more.
Yeah, and it's the thing that lets a sport grow.
Yeah.
Like even there was a bit of like not controversy, but the press conference talking about too many races with the SMX, and I know people weren't happy about that, and I didn't actually ask that question first. Thankfully, I just like I tried to save the SMX a little bit.
They have a lot of races.
They do have a lot of races.
We have. No, I'm one of them.
Yeah. But the thing is like, well, Chase Sexton feels that way. Jet feels that way.
Yeah. So there's.
Like you can't try to box in the negativity, and you can't try and box in the way that people feel and make their feelings not feel legitimate.
Yes.
Because they're going through that shit. And like Jeffrey Herlings knows if the tracks in Europe suck. He knows.
Yeah.
There's nobody better than him.
Look,
he's raced in Europe. He's raced in America.
Yeah.
He's raced all over the world. He's one of the best riders
Yeah.
to ever fucking ride a dirt bike.
Yes.
If he says the tracks are shit, I hate to say it in front,
And he's not the only one saying it.
the tracks are shit. Like, so you can't suppress that. You can't make a deal behind, you can't try and
No.
sell him behind closed doors. No. The reality is what the reality is. And if that's how the guys feel, you have to let them speak
Yeah.
and you have to deal with it and you have to make a choice as an organization to do better or not do better.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, that's real and you'll deal with the
But, like,
consequences.
So many times we talk to them, and especially about the track conditions, right? Like, hey, try to put more water in the morning, or try to rip it more. And they always know better than we do, you know? They know if we put more water, then this happens. If we rip more, then this ground is not good, so it wouldn't be good for the races. All right, you guys know better, but the tracks are bad, you know what I mean? So only in maybe a few races the track was decent. And maybe it was not even because of them. It was maybe because it just rained a little bit overnight, and then the track was just perfect. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So come on, like they need to step it up big time. Then we race in tracks like, for example, the last round in Spain. That's not an MXGP track. Well, it is an MXGP track. It's not a
Up to
real
the level.
up to the level of a world championship track. Super slow, small. Jumps are like 65 jumps. Rocks everywhere, like dangerous. Like if you fall in Spain, like you cut yourself open, like big time. It's dangerous. Like you better don't crash in Spain. And then
and this is you as a Spanish rider
yes,
who loves
yes.
Spain.
We love Spain.
You want to race in Spain.
I want to race in Spain.
Okay.
I want that the people in Spain is coming to the races to watch me race too.
Yeah.
But I don't want that also that the fans from Spain or all over the world come to Spain and see and like watch a race on a track that it's not to the level of a world championship race. Like if you go to Spain on a track full of stones, dust everywhere around the track.
It's not a
and,
good
and you go with your
representation.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
and your girlfriend's like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
You know, like it's not clean. It's not nice to watch.
There's nowhere to sit.
You're sitting under the sun. It's not comfortable. But if you go to a different place where you have, I don't know, a nice camping area, you can walk around the track and it's not full of dust. You know, like it's pretty. Then you watch to the track and it looks good. Then you have these big jumps where you see riders that fly so high over the air and so for so long, and you're like, wow, this is cool. But not a track where I ride maybe second, third gear max in Spain. Jeffrey's riding first gear, he told me. First gear. Come on.
That's actually insane.
First gear. So this is the kind of tracks we have, like Switzerland. Switzerland, the track is like 1 minute 20 something the lap. We need to race there for 35 minutes. Luckily, it was a little bit muddy, so it was longer the
That's
lap.
like 70 laps, bro.
It's like crazy. It's not.
Well, the problem
And
is
the jumps, like the biggest jump was like as big as this table. Switzerland.
that's insane.
I understand it's cool to have a Grand Prix in Switzerland for the fans, especially having zero also in the GPs. I think it's very important. Or even having a GP in Slovenia. Come on, the championship should even think about that. Having a GP in Slovenia with the fans that Gajser has. Like the fans of Gajser go all around the world too with him. So it would be cool to just maybe help, the country to get a Grand Prix there. So they need to think more about everything.
The problem is, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in front's going to fucking hate me after this. The model, though, is that you basically pay in front for the track. So you can have the shittest track.
Yeah.
But if you have 300,000 euros, I think that's the number. Am I close?
I think more.
Okay. I'm just going to say 300,000 euros.
More.
It's more.
Yeah.
So if you have more than 300,000, what fucking motocross track has 300,000 euros in the bank? So
That's why they need, like, the authorities.
that's why they go to all these. They actually don't care the tracks that
No.
they're going to.
No.
What they care about is what tourism department will pay them the money because they've got this, and this many people. They're going to, like Indonesia, China, all these places. The model is that you give the cash,
Yep.
we'll bring the GP.
I mean,
Doesn't matter how good the track is, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, all this shit
No,
doesn't matter.
no.
You got the cash,
yes.
we'll give you the GP.
That's how it works. So when we race in Turkey, we have maybe 100 fans, like 100, not 100,000, not 100.
Really?
And one of them, it's my father that went to the stands to watch the race. Then the father from the other guy. Then I don't know, a family member from another rider that go to the stands. That's the 100, you know.
That's
I had few
crazy.
fans from Spain that came over to watch me, like a little group that came to different races this year, which was very fun. And yeah, they go there and watch the race, but like 100 people max, like no spectators at all.
And the problem is that you're here now. Lucas Coonan just announced today on Instagram that he's coming to America in 26. Kai de Wolf is going to come here.
Well, he's here now.
Well, he's here right now,
Yeah.
but he's going to be racing
Yes.
here. So the problem is that Supercross is fucking insane. It's done so well.
It's
crazy how good going to a Supercross race is. The outdoors, for the most part, are unreal. It's been the same.
Also, just the tracks. I mean,
The same tracks forever, and they're fucking great. And every year, right? So you get some of the big races. Like, I don't know if you followed any of the drama that we had with like Glen Helen and all the shit. We had Davey Coombs on, but
not really.
I did like a bunch of digging, right? And you're getting some tracks here that are making crazy good money. So they pay $100 grand basically to like license the series.
All right.
And then they got to put up the prize money for the event. But some of them are getting like $1 million, $2 million worth of gate, like fans coming to the races, right? So what do they then do with that money? They make their tracks even better.
Yeah.
And better and better and better and better and better. Every single year, these same tracks are making fuckloads of money.
I know.
And then spending that money, new machines, new equipment, new watering systems, new grandstand. And then the level goes like
I
this.
know.
And then what happens?
It's crazy.
Jorge Prado
Yeah.
leaves Europe. The first chance that he gets. He wins
I know.
he wins his championships and he leaves.
I know.
Lucas Coonan hasn't even done a career in MXGP.
Doesn't even.
Going to
Haven't seen all the tracks we have in the World Championship. Let's say.
yeah. So they're creating a huge problem for themselves, and it's like really starting to become evident.
And then, so when you go to a race like, I don't know, like Spain, so track gotta put, like you said, that amount of money, or the organizer, to make the race, so they need to pay in front. All right, they get that money, plus, you know, so many people comes, watch the race, they pay also the ticket. Riders, we don't get anything. Luckily, we get something from the teams.
Yeah.
So as a privateer, so if I would have been a privateer just with my dad and my mom and my sister going to the race with my bike, and I win the World Championship, I get €0.
Really?
I get €0.
So there's no prize money.
0.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
Nah.
We don't get anything. So I won
Championship bonus,
I won
nothing.
the championship,
Nothing.
not from the in front or from the team, yes, obviously, but not from organizers or
No.
in front championship, like championship. No.
No.
So Jeffrey, when he's going to these regional races, he's getting more money than on a GP, you know?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Fuck. In front's gonna hate this. Sorry, in front.
Well, that's a reality.
That's the
like
reality.
We are not saying things that are not true.
Yeah.
It would have been like if we say things that are not true, then okay, they can be mad. But at this point, it's the truth. So we don't get anything. So because it's not even for me. I don't say this for myself because it's not gonna change anything now. And I had my contract with my team, so I get the money from my team, so it's no problem. But I've seen privateers doing quite decent this year also. Like imagine a cool nice moto and you're there close to the top 5 or even top 5, or even in a mud race, you know that everything can happen and maybe a privateer wins. I don't know. He goes back home with minus I don't know how many thousands because the bike is destroyed
Bike's
in the mud.
ruined.
Exactly. So you won a GP and it's minus I don't know how many thousands of euros. So it's not fair, right? And this doesn't allow also the sport to grow because riders now like within 15 to like I would say 15 to 40 position, they just don't come anymore to the GPs because they're like, for what?
Yeah.
I better stay in the regional championships and then I get some prize money there because they have a little bit, some championships. So they can get some money there. But at the GPs, they only lose money. Like the privateers, they lose money
Every time,
every
no
time
matter
because
what.
they need to pay also the entry fee. So the entry,
What's the entry fee cost? Do you know?
I think 1,500 every race.
Can you fucking believe this?
Yeah. I think
50.
I think
Whoa. Bro. So how many GP rounds is there? This is fucking
20.
blowing my mind. So there's 20 GPs. Let's say 300,000 euros. That's just only 6 million euros that the tracks are paying.
1,500.
And then the entry.
That's
wow.
to buy. I know because one of my friends came to a few GPs and he raced the GP and he's like, I don't know if I can make it to the next GP because I need someone to help me to pay to race. You know what I mean? And he's riding and he's done with the race and he goes home and he just lost money, you know, for racing, to experience an MXGP.
Yeah.
Like he came to Galicia to my race, which was very far. It's in the other side of Europe. But yeah, he wanted to experience racing my track and with the crowd and everything. And yeah, he paid it. He had some friends that helped him to pay, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for privateers.
So what's the vibe there now? Like between the riders and is it still like a lot of tension between like people people over it there, do you think?
I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah, you're just done. You're like, see you guys.
whatever they want to do.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm like, I did what I had to do. I tried these last years to maybe change few things together with other riders. It's not only me and it's not only Jeffrey speaking, but I would put Jeremy. Jeremy was talking to me too, and we tried to, change things a little bit, like to make that track maybe more safe. But they don't listen, so it's the same. And even all the riders, and for example, in 22 didn't race. All those riders, they were helping. Just the whole situation to get better by not racing. No, we didn't race because we thought it was the right way to say, hey, you got to change it.
Yeah.
It was the only way that we could use to don't race. And then they kind of sell it in the opposite way, like you guys didn't race because you are afraid of riding in the mud, because you are afraid of these circumstances. You are not as good as you think. This is not, they said in front of us, this is not golf. Said, we're not here for that. We are here because we need a better racetrack. We need a safer, like just talking about safety.
Yeah.
Racetrack. And yeah, things doesn't change. So I try my best, other riders also, and things are not changing. Like
Yeah.
tracks are not getting better. I think with one day racing was slightly better because they have more time too. But that's their problem. Like they can't put like 10 classes per day. Like they can't have like from 8 o'clock till like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, all time races. Come on. Even when people is going to watch your race, they're tired of hearing bikes.
Yeah.
You have the 125 Group 1, Group 2, 250, Group 1, Group 2. Then you have MX2. Then you have, not veterans, but I don't know, like another class, 250, 450. It's too much.
Yeah.
You're over it.
Yeah.
I like motocross, but come on, it's too much.
Yeah.
You need to have a balance.
Well, and at the level that you're the world championship, you want to go there and be entertained.
Yes.
And bro, I don't want a C practice in Supercross. Fuck it off. I'm over it. I don't need to watch dudes case every single
But
jump
that's
on the
why
track.
you guys go to the night program and
Yeah.
you see hit races, LCQ, main events.
That's it.
Easy. You see
In,
the
out.
best guys race all the time.
Yeah.
The best guys.
Yeah.
And if you want to watch more, come to the next race.
Yeah.
In Europe, you're like, whoa, like I'm not sure if I'm coming next year. I'm over it. Like
Yeah.
you're like this after a whole weekend in the GPs. Like it's too much.
Yeah. So what would you change? Like if you right now you're leaving MXGP, what would you say to them? Like, hey, if you guys want to make everyone happy, this is what you need to do. If you want this series to keep going.
So I think they need to look more to the riders and more to the sport. Not only the riders, but the motocross. So the in front needs to think that that they need to grow the sport. So they need to try and make the sport better, bigger, and to get to more people. So you need to go to places where you can get fans come to the race. You can't race in the middle of nowhere. Like Turkey, we are in the middle of nowhere, no big city around. Like we are, what's it like 5 hours 30 from Istanbul.
What's the name of the city that it's in? Let's
Afyon.
actually look at it on a map.
Afyon Karahisar. Afyon.
I want to see it on the map.
Yeah, Afyon. Yeah. Afyon, Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey.
Turkey,
And
yeah.
then go maps.
Maps. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but I want to
that
see
one.
it on a map, like where it is. There you go. Let's zoom out.
So, do you see Istanbul there on top?
Yeah, dude. Keep
It's-
zoom in a little bit more.
Yeah, there it is. So it's far. You need to drive like for 5 hours, over 5 hours to get to the track.
To say that that's in the middle of nowhere is quite an accurate statement.
That's why. So we races in places like this, like
Wow.
no perfect. But then, for example, I feel like in Spain we did quite good in the GP of Madrid and the GP of my place because we are close to cities. So Madrid is close to Madrid.
Yeah. And Madrid
Madrid is big.
is dope.
Exactly. So good.
Yeah.
And then in my place, my region, it's a cool place, big cities around. You're, close to the sea. Like it's a very good location too. So, many fans could come over, especially from the north of Spain. But then, for example, this last race, many fans came, but I was a bit worried because it was in the middle of nowhere. Like my hotel was 1 hour away from the racetrack. It's too far. It's too far for people. You need to get closer to the cities. I know it's difficult, but you have tracks closer to cities. So
Yeah, but they might not
that's
want to pay you 300,000 plus euros.
they don't want because they don't have it.
Yeah.
Probably they don't have it.
What? No motocross.
Like
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, so the model isn't a good model. Like, it's a great model for in front, which is it just, it's one family, yeah, that owns it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know the father, and now it's the son taking over his place.
Yeah. So it's like the model's great because no matter where they go, they just get paid. Like, doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
Doesn't
for
matter.
them, they always win.
It's a good model.
Pretty much.
But like you said,
Always.
for motocross, not a good model.
No.
Doesn't grow the sport, not going to the best track. And to be honest, like I just don't really care to follow the GPs. Like, which sucks.
You know why? I talked to them also about this because I think they so I felt like they did it in the wrong way in the last years. Like they need to build stars too, and
Yeah.
they don't. They focus maybe with one rider and that's it. But you have people like myself, like Team Gajser, that's been there and winning many titles too.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
and he's not recognized as, or he doesn't have the value that he really has. Like
Yeah.
that's what I feel like media wise,
Yeah.
and they probably stick the last years, to be honest, with Jeffrey a lot, like Jeffrey also my group Jeffrey, but yes, but you can't live just from him, because the last year he's not
It wasn't
being-
even there.
not
for
even
most
there,
of it,
or
yeah.
didn't even battle till the last round for the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for example, Team or I did. So, they just need to build stars, and they do it here. Look with Deegan or with Jet or with just different personalities. They build the stars, and that's what the fans like because they come to the race to cheer for them.
Yeah.
When they go to the races in Europe, I think they just go and watch MXGP. They don't really come with like, okay, I want to see this rider win.
Yeah.
Probably when you go to Spain, they want me to win, but for the most of the races, the people doesn't have like that guy.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think that problem as well is that they're just going to lose so many people.
Yep.
Like the Coonan brothers, they stars in the making. Kaiser Wolf, like that dude's a G. People over here are like fans of him. Like our boys, like massive fans of Kai. Like cool as fuck. And it's like all those guys gone. Like they're just not. People are gonna start leaving the GPs so much more than ever before. I think it's just gonna be too attractive here. There's gonna be too many teams here now, especially with like Ducati coming in, and then you got Triumph coming in. Like,
and to be honest, I was talking to Jeffrey about this too. It's not fun, the tracks we race. Back to the tracks, like it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't enjoy racing in MXGP. Like I race it because I want to win the title, but I don't race it because it's fun to ride those tracks. But I guess when you go Red Bud, Ironman, the last Millville, I don't know. Oh, Unadilla, even if for the guys here they say it's hard, I feel like
you're gonna eat that shit up.
Maybe it's not that hard,
Yeah.
Those are cool tracks. Like you enjoy riding your bike, and when you enjoy riding your bike, then the fans can feel it.
Yeah, and that's why I don't watch MXGP. Like that's the only reason. I think you're amazing. I think Siwa's amazing. I think that Tim is amazing. I think Jeffrey's amazing. The 250 boys are psychos. Love watching them race. I just can't get excited.
Yeah. We race too slow. Like when even myself, when I see myself on TV, it looks slow because the tracks are slow. We are super fast. Like when you are watching the race live, you can see us going so fast. But then on TV, it's not. You can feel it because it's slow tracks, many corners, small jumps. So for the fans, it's hard to feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are some good ones. Like there's a couple of good ones. I think Argentina's fucking crazy.
Argentina, it's
that's a cool.
It's a cool track.
Yeah, and
like
then
also like Galicia was a very nice track this year.
I think Lommel's always cool to watch just because it's so gnarly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have tracks like Lommel or Arnhem, like sand tracks that are nice because they're so different to the rest. Because it's just bouncing with the bumps and go. And probably it's nice because you know about motocross, but maybe a guy that doesn't really know. Like it's cool
Looks
to
like
watch
shit.
myself, to watch Jeffrey and maybe 2-3 more. But after that, we lapped till the 10th almost, I think.
Yeah.
Like almost. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, that has to be one of the more exciting things for you racing here, especially outdoors, bro.
Especially
you're gonna have so much
I'm
fun.
coming here to race Supercross too, but outdoors should be very fun here. I already hear from people like the tracks here are cool. I can see them. Well, I saw all the tracks every single time I watch the races, and they look so cool. And I think it's exciting to finally put fourth gear in a straight.
Let the big dog eat.
Go, keep it wide open for like at least 4 seconds, maybe a little bit. Like, it's nice. Like in Europe, you only can give full throttle when you're in the air, because once you are down, you need to brake. It's pretty much like that. Which I also think I need to adapt to the racetracks here, being so much faster, because I'm using or riding on tight tracks too. So I feel like outdoors will be fun, but I also need to adapt. I feel like my riding style a little bit, probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
we will see.
Have you spoke to Tom or anything about the outdoor stuff over here, or do you have a good perspective?
Not really. I didn't spend so much time with Tom because he came now for Nations and he was gone.
Yeah.
And then I had my things too, so I not really, but from like Jeffrey or Tony when he came over, he told me still like, when was it? Like not long ago, he told me like, hey, you will enjoy racing outdoors there. It's like so cool. And he said it's cool that after the race, the guys from the track, they ask the riders, hey, what do you think about the track? Do you think we need to change something, fix something? And if they all say, hey, that part of the track is difficult or what, they gotta be changed, then they do it for safety. This doesn't happen in MXGP. No. So I think this is cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I just think it's just iconic, like to the first lap that you'll hit Larocco's Leap and, you know, like going through the rollers at Millville. Like, there's just so much iconic shit.
We raced Red Bud already.
Oh,
but
yeah. But, I mean, that's
different nations.
Well, did you got it, the first year was muddy and the second year was all right, though, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't full mud.
No, I wasn't full mud.
What did you think? What did you think of Red Bud the second year that you raced it?
I felt like track prep was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because first year I think MXGP did it.
Ah.
And then second year the guys from there did it. Like they were putting water already on Fridays. They don't do that in MXGP.
Yeah, right. Why would
Water is straight away at night a little bit, or maybe a lot, and it's not good because you need you need to start watering a track like already maybe on Wednesday or Thursday just so it gets soft, the ground.
Yeah.
And so then you can work the ground better later, not at the last minute. And when we came to Nations 22, wow, track was so good. And we had a lot of bad luck because it rained so much. You remember? I think between Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, piss down.
And track was very good. I was just not good. I didn't feel good with my bike there, so I was really off. But I need to say track was in very, very good conditions for how
bad
much
it was.
rain we got, and for the whole thing, it was nice.
Yeah. Nations this year, were you just over it? Like just tired, haven't had a break in 2 years?
This year?
Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah. That's the vibe I got.
I
saw the body language on the bike.
So I won my title, and once that week, just before Nations, I didn't ride. I was empty. I was empty. Like, I put so much pressure all year long to get that title that once I got it, I felt like I was empty. It's weird. I think I've never had this feeling my whole life. Like, I was done. Like, I did what I had to do, and I couldn't push my body more. So I didn't ride that week. I still did physical training, obviously. I wanted to do good in Nations. I won Saturday. And already I was like, I didn't see myself on Sunday like fully charged, also the rain, like little rain. I didn't feel very good with my bike this weekend too.
I feel like that would maybe be like the worst track for that bike.
Everything together didn't really make a nice Sunday. Then I was like, all right, last moto, which did little changes to my setup. I said, okay, let's see if we can get a good start. If not, we just ride it out and that's it. I was like around fourth, and then I'm like, let's see if I want to go fast, let's see what happens. I passed everyone. And then I start having problems with my goggles because the Scott goggles are very thin on top, like the foam is very thin, and it kind of rain, but drops, like little drops, and it went in my inside of the lens, in the inside. So, like, I made a little mistake, and Tomac passed me. I was trying to follow, and I couldn't see the ruts properly, all the time like that. And then I knew I had to come over. I started thinking about riding the Kawi. I'm like, I don't know, so many things went to my head that I blocked myself. Like, at one point, I was like, goggles, not good. Myself, mentally, done. And I couldn't ride it anymore. Like, a track that should be good for me too, like with the ruts and stuff. I just couldn't ride it anymore. I stopped for goggles. Nobody was there. And it was also my fault. Didn't really communicate good with the team. But I was quite tired from all year, and especially mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be incredibly hard to go through. I'm sure there's like just a dump.
Plus, I was scared to get injured. I was like, I don't want to crash here and don't get to ride the bike now and do this testing because it's so important for the next year.
Yeah.
So many things went into my head, and I was not right. I was not prepared to race that day. I was not ready, to be honest.
No, it just makes complete sense.
I mean, I was off. I was just not myself. I was just too many things. Saturday, didn't think about anything. Good. Sunday, woke up, the rain, the goggles, that thing.
A lot going on.
And I didn't have the power in me to, okay, no problem. I still do it.
Yeah.
If that day would have been the last race of the championship, no problem. I still got it. But I didn't have anything to prove.
Yeah.
I wanted to do good for Spain, obviously, but
You also don't really have the team.
I was too tired mentally.
Yeah. No, it just makes complete sense.
It's a pity because I told my team, Spanish team, I'm sorry I couldn't deliver the results I wanted for the team. I was off. I was just tired from the whole year. It was too much stress. I've never had so much stress in my life, like in the body, like what we talked before about the values and everything. I never had this in my life because it was, in my head, I only had one option, that was winning. And I was scared to fail on that. And because I was scared to fail, I had so much stress. I knew one part of the body knew I was going to get it, but till you don't get it, it's not sure.
Yeah. And it just makes sense that there's a certain dump that you have. It's not like an adrenaline dump, but it's like the same. It's like the same thing where I don't know if this happens when you ride or whatever, but in fighting or whatever, you'll just you have this huge adrenaline dump that happens. And then after that, it's like you can't even open a water bottle.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't have strength. That it's like everything's left your body. And I feel like that is a thing that can happen to your brain after you reach a big goal. I even felt it after the World Vets last year when I did that race. I was like, I'm done. I've ridden a handful of times because I just did so much riding. I put so much effort into it.
I didn't feel ready to race Motocross of Nations this year, mentally.
Yeah.
I was not ready because
You're just given everything.
I gave all my 100%.
Yeah.
So, because I knew it was so important for me to get the world title, I gave my life. I gave everything. So I didn't have anything left for them, for the team, for Motocross of Nations. I just couldn't. I just rode it, and that's it. But to be honest, I didn't really want to race because I was tired. I had to race. I had to race for the team.
Yeah. What did you make of the battle between Jet and Gajser?
I was happy that Gajser won. To be honest, come on, I need to be realistic, right? I've been battling with Gajser all year long, so if Jet comes and beats Gajser, it's like, all right, we'll see if I can beat Jet, But if Gajser beats Jet, it's like, all right, I beat him, so mathematically, it should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
I've been
complete
racing
sense.
with that team Gajser all year long. That team Gajser that fought Jet till the very last corner, that was my team Gajser all year long. Every single
20 races.
qualifying race,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single first moto and second moto. I had to beat that guy.
60 times. When you say it like that.
It's crazy.
Gnarly, eh? It was, dude, also Australia winning their first one. That was probably my favourite Motocross of Nations of all time.
Yep.
But
Congrats.
thanks, mate. I had nothing to do with it, but thank you.
It's the country. It's good.
But it was crazy to watch those guys battle.
Yeah.
Jet.
I think Jet didn't expect. Jet didn't expect Gajser to do that move.
Nah.
But the race is not done till you cross the finish line. It's like that.
I wonder. I wonder also how much mentally Jet had to give as well for that race. He was obviously they were going for it, but I feel like it's a weird race because everyone's kind of in that boat in a sense. I think everyone gets there and it's really hard to make it happen for that weekend unless your team is right in the mix. I think you can find an extra gear, or a guy like Tim. Slovenia has one rider.
Yes.
So it's every time he goes, it's just for him personally.
Yes.
And I think that Tim had a lot to gain from Motocross of Nations because he was able, he had Jet there and he had everyone there. He had Eli there. So personally, he can make a massive statement. And the team factor's not
Yes.
really going to come
No.
into it. Like, he kind of is the only guy that can do that race and race for himself.
Yeah. And after, getting second 1 week earlier in the World Championship,
Yeah.
I think like mentally it's not easy. Coming to the last round, getting beat there, because he could have won the championship.
Well, he had the lead.
He had the lead, but no, coming to the last round too. Like
Yeah,
4 points,
yeah,
it's
true.
nothing. Or 7 points, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like he could have, won everything, and maybe me second and 1/3, and he would have won the championship. So yeah, I think it's very tough mentally to after leading for so long, and then the last 3 rounds gone.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. And I feel like in Nations, he could go out and said, okay, I'm still capable of winning. Like, that kind of
Yeah.
mentality. And I think it helped him now for sure for the off season, and to keep him motivated as well. And just more happy, I feel like. Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Finishing the season on a high, it's cool.
for sure. And, like Pierce Brown winning the last race, his
Mm-hmm.
first race at the last race, like, you get to spend
I
all
text him.
off.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He actually said that. Yeah. But, you get to spend all off season as the man.
Yep.
Like the saying, you're only as good as your last race. Same thing for Tim. Like he got to beat Jet, which I think anytime anyone can beat Jet is a big deal, because it's be hard to argue that he's not maybe the best.
It's like pretty much every time you beat like Jeffrey, or like if you beat Jeffrey, you're not going slow. You know what I mean? It's like right now, if you need to beat Gajser, like every time you beat Team Gajser, it's like you have a good day.
Yeah.
Like we are really on a good level right now. We are riding very fast.
Did you feel that this year, that the level that you guys were at, was it the fastest you've ever rode?
Fastest.
Really?
The fastest and the longest. So like we would maintain that speed the whole race. Unbelievable. Like it never happened before. Like I would sprint, and then maybe the last minutes you would, kind of slow down a little bit, and then nobody would attack because we are all kind of dead.
Yeah.
This year, like to the very last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes, Gajser would if he's behind me, he would try to attack. He would try. For sure try. Didn't happen the last years. No.
And what do you think that is? Like, why were you guys able to get better? Do you think it's just year after year of compounding of work and fitness?
I feel
and
a little bit of everything. I think if you have a great fitness program, training program, then it shows on the bike. Probably he felt very good with his bike too. I feel better with my bike. So if you feel better with the bike, you go faster, but probably at the same time you go easier, faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything together made it a very nice season. I was so happy I got to race with Tim and Jeffrey face to face every single race, because I had to be my best version every single weekend. And it's not easy mentally, not easy for the body, because as soon as you are not that, like at 100%, you feel it. So it's cool. Tim rode very good in some races. He was just super fast. So it was nice to beat him.
Do you get along with him personally? Do you ever have much to do with him, or because you're not under the same truck, it's like very separate?
Yeah, very separate. But every time I talk to him, he's a cool guy to talk. He's just normal, We just talk, and it's good.
Yeah. So when you were watching the AMA motocross this year, what did you make of it?
Well, first of all, Jet got injured. So then once he got injured, was like, all right, the championship is almost like over.
Yeah.
For him. And I don't know. I felt like when Jet was on track, Chase was slightly worse, maybe. And when he wasn't there, Chase was slightly better. But it's also because the fact we talked before, because Jet, it's that level, so it looks like the others are a little bit off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say about the championship. I will race with them next year. Then I can tell how good they are, really. Because at Nations, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's only one race, and you don't know. I don't even know how good Jet is. I don't know how good I am compared to them.
Yeah.
I need to race them, and I need to race the tracks they race and that they are used to. Like if they come and race, I don't know, Galicia or Madrid or I don't know, like or Sweden, tracks they never race, they probably have more problems than I do because I'm more used to it.
Yeah.
So I can take that as an advantage if they come here. But as I'm moving here now, I will see how good they are.
Yeah. What's your expectations for motocross?
Well, I'm curious to see how good the bike works on outdoor track. I've been mainly riding Supercross now, not really riding outdoors, just like 2 days, but not much. Like we couldn't go around.
Yeah, true way. Yeah.
I couldn't.
You couldn't be in
I
public.
couldn't be in public, so
Yeah.
I couldn't ride much outdoors. But I feel like if they have a good setup for Supercross, they should have something good for outdoors too. So it just depends. If I feel good with with the Kawi on outdoors, and I can just ride normal, like for example this year, minimum like this year, I should be able to win too.
That's got to be a pretty cool feeling to like come to a different country, everything's different, and actually feel like you can. Because I mean, I agree. Like I don't.
I mean, the
I
thing
don't
is,
see any reason why
yeah,
you couldn't
that- I
win.
wanna
You know
say
what I
that.
mean? Like again, math. Like,
Exactly.
If you think about the math, again, there could be all these other things that we don't take into consideration. I
Yeah.
think VL is a good example of it. But maybe the 250 class is just a little bit different with like how you have to ride the bikes or something. I don't know. Maybe
I
there's
don't
something
know.
different there. But like just purely on math, like you should be able to be as good as the top guys in the class because of, like guys that beat Jet rode pretty good. You know, like I think Jet came from behind a ways to like get up to that point. So like maybe there's that. But at the end of the day,
mean,
it just looked like the level was
Jet
like,
is a great rider.
Yeah.
Jet rides the bike very good. I feel like fitness-wise, he's also very strong. He's right now he's the best here in the U.S. He's the best rider. So I will try and beat the best rider, right? What do I think? I think I can. So now let's see if I can do it or not. But
Yeah.
I feel I can do it. If someone can do it, it's me.
yeah.
I have this good starts, good fitness. I can ride the bike fast too. Probably, I'm curious to see because I feel like these tracks suit me better than MXGP. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a very good bike, and hopefully I have a good feeling riding outdoors with it. So I don't know.
Will you stay in California all year, do you think?
For sure the first part.
Yeah.
For sure for Supercross. I don't know for outdoors. I need to still like talk to the team and see how they do because I feel like tracks are getting hard here in the summer. So for testing
Yeah,
and
the
everything,
tracks
it's not easy.
suck here in the summer.
Because then you go from a hard pack track, no ruts, no bumps to rough tracks. Also for the bike setup, how do you make a bike work good in those conditions if you never train or you never test the bike like that? So it's something that, the team should know. They have the experience, so I will just follow what they say and give my opinion too. I have also my experience, so hopefully, together we build a very nice bike. They have the experience already from Jason racing this new model this year, so it's already a little bit of an advantage coming to next year, like bike setup and how everything works
they
or how
have
it
a base.
reacts. So they have a little base.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, to stay in California would be hard, I think, to do an outdoor season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not inspired to ride at the moment at all.
No.
Like, I'm waiting until it starts raining,
until
and then
it's-
you'll see me straight back
Yeah.
out on the tracks. But to just be out here pumping 30s on public tracks that aren't great, I mean, but probably good compared to Europe. I mean, like Parlor on a random Mondays, like
To be honest, when you're in Belgium or you ride, you ride sand always, or you ride flat tracks or it's more bumpy. But the good thing is that when you start flat, at the end of the day, it's always getting bumpy. So
Yeah.
you always get a bumpy track. And the most of the times the dirt is good because it's always raining. So, or it's a little bit muddy or it's just good. It's hard to have like a dry kind of track. We have it sometimes, but not very often. And then when I'm in Italy, we have Malagrota, our private track from Gajser. So that's always very good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And because they know how I like the track, then to make me happy, they rip nice ruts. So every time we go there, it's just good. And I'm like, then I come back to the GPs and I'm like, come on, why am I training on a better track than training on a better track than I race? Should be all the way around, you know? So I laugh many times with my team, say, hey, you gotta pick that tractor and rip that track, like we do.
Bring the tractor.
Yeah, David is doing it at the track in. David is the team manager from Gajser.
Yeah, okay.
He's doing the track.
No shit.
Perfect.
Really? Dude,
He does everything, like he preps the track with the bobcat or whatever, and then he rips it, and then watering, he does everything. Perfect.
It's not that hard.
We train sometimes with a scoop tire
Really?
in Italy. So I know, from riding that track, I know that any track in the world pretty much can get good. Like if you put the time, any track can be good, but you need the time, you need the equipment, and you need to do it. How to do it? You need to know how to do it. So
But it's honestly not hard.
hey, Malagrota. So the track there.
So look that up. Look up that track. What's it called? I think I know the one.
Malagrota.
I know the one. It's it's pretty hard pack, right? It's got like the tabletops.
Yeah.
The,
So in the summer when it's like
Malagrota.
with double T, yeah.
A.
Mala with L.
Mala.
Yeah, Mala. With G, Grota.
GROTTO.
GROTTO. MX track. Malagrota.
And then MX track.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, go there.
So
look that picture. That
lovely.
Facebook one or whatever.
there.
Yeah. So look,
lovely.
that's how I ride all the time.
That's beautiful.
Look at this.
Not hard, eh?
No. In the summer, it's like asphalt.
Yeah.
That's why I say any track can get good. You just need to prep it. Look, that's the track. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really
Look at
good
that.
there. Yeah.
I think this is this week. 5 days ago. Yeah, he sent me a picture of it.
He's pumped on it, eh? Every time he gets
He's
the
like,
track
we
prep
got some
good.
rain and
Yeah.
I ripped it and crazy. Look at that. That part. It's not hard. It's like a little bit more sandy.
Yeah.
But like the top. But this one in the summer gets hard too.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like this part gets like the street black if you don't rip it. And look at this. You can ride a scoop tire right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, honestly, it's not hard.
I never race a scoop tire almost in the GPs.
Oh, really? Except Trentino.
No, I went
Oh,
with
you
the
still
normal
did?
one. Yeah.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah.
I remember
I risk it.
the year that I was there, nobody ran the scoop. Everybody ran the scoop,
Yes,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody was on just the normal
I
tire.
risked because I felt like I could do better. If I had a bad start, I could pass better with a normal tire than with the scoop.
Yeah.
So I risked it, and I start from 21st this year because I lost my seat and everything. So I was like 21st, but way more like outside. And the corner, it's 180.
Yeah, 180.
So I came from the outside like wide open. It was so good, so good. 2 starts, big hole shots.
That's unreal.
With the normal tire, no scoop.
Have you done many starts on the Kawi?
I did some on the test track.
Feels good?
Very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
Very good. I was impressed. I was like, this thing starts good too.
Yeah, okay. And they're hydraulic clutch as well.
Yeah.
Was that a weird feel? I mean, you've only ever really done that. Like, really? Have you ever rode with a cable clutch?
No.
Yeah.
Not
you
just
wouldn't have.
KTM.
Yeah,
It's,
KTM, yeah.
but no, it's just different kind of starting style with the Kawi.
Yeah.
Because you go way lower RPM.
Okay.
Wow, and then it just starts so good.
Dude, some of the starts, it might have been the last round at Spain. We were watching a bunch of videos last night. Just fuck, just gone, bro. Like the amount of just drive and acceleration
Yes.
After the gate was just insane, dude.
From the Kawi or?
No, from you on this, like,
Yeah, I feel it's a lot how I release the clutch.
Yeah.
Somehow
It has to
needs
be.
to be something there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't even know, but some of the stars is like I'm like almost like you can almost feel like there that point.
yeah, it's like that is
Like-
like that's massive, dude. Go back, just go back. Where is you on the gate?
Quite far.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that drive, it's right when you're out of the gate. The drive is just a different level, dude.
Yeah. So hard.
Fucking gnarly, eh? What are you going to miss about Europe?
So I think I will miss the food.
I was about to say the food.
I'm already missing it. But no, I think so probably the people also. I've been working with them for so long, that like the team. I've been with them for already the last 6 years. 6 years with the team, 6-7 years with the same team.
Yeah.
So I will miss them because I see them every day. Well, I was with them every day before. So it's like people you are used to, hang out too. Also after races, I have a very good relationship with Davide. We go out for dinner and everything. So, I mean, we create a relationship out of motocross and, we will miss that.
Yeah.
So, I think pretty much that. For sure, I have friends also in Belgium, in Spain. I have still my grandparents in Spain. They will come over for the first round
Yeah.
and for my birthday. But yeah, it's it's not like tomorrow if I want I go to Spain. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
I could do that before, not now. It's a big flight. It's a big trip. So I for sure will miss that. Then the last years I build already a little bit like my house in Europe. Like I had my house in Belgium and I had my house in Italy. So I felt always home. Like if I go to Belgium, was my bed, was my place.
Yeah.
If I go to Italy, my house again. So I was feeling always good everywhere I go. So yeah, this was pretty much it, I think.
And the food.
And the food. Luckily here, I have my mother, so my parents are here with me.
Yeah.
And so if if you go to the right places, you can get good food too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't talk about restaurants, about getting the right...
Produce.
yes.
Yeah.
So the right meat, the right fish, and then bring it home, cook it, and should be good.
I bet there's some good food kicking around the Prado house.
Very good.
Yeah, really.
And healthy.
What's the go-to? What's like the
Uh,
stock good Mama Prado food?
she does everything, to be honest. A little bit of everything.
Do you eat mostly like a Spanish style or like everything?
I feel like everything. But more like Spanish style, like simple. So we don't put sauce on,
No, yeah.
olive oil,
Yeah.
salt. That's
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's my wife says the same shit. She's like,
Like when you need any, like little bit olive oil. The
Yeah.
meat, done.
yeah,
Salt.
salt, pepper. Yeah.
That's it. Not even pepper. Like salt, and that's it. Like easy. Bread, olive oil.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know, fish, olive oil.
Yeah.
Little bit of that, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I run the same program. My wife lived it all over the world, and she like a lot of time in Asia. So she's just like all the good, like she just loves like hot, like crazy spicy, just like a lot of flavor. And I'm like, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe put some butter, melt some butter on some shit.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm running the same program.
I go quickly to the toilet.
Yeah, yeah. We'll wrap it up.
New test track.
Oh, really? Did they just send you videos?
Picture.
Oh, show me.
Yeah, but you can't see anything.
Okay. Have you rode, is that K2, that one?
The one, yeah.
Yeah. So when's your next day on the bike? You got 2 weeks off?
So I got 2 weeks off. So this one, next week, no riding, no training, like no physical, nothing.
How good's that? Will you feel like you want to go and have a run or something? Like, do you
Not
like? Nah. So you actually are fully ready to have 2 weeks off?
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause what, you were saying it's been like
I
2
want,
years.
Sometimes I want to get like on a bicycle, but I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get on the bicycle anyway soon. And 2 weeks is not that much. Like, okay, you miss a lot, but it's not like 1 month off.
Yeah.
2 weeks is nothing. So no, it should be good. Should be good. I think I do some bike rides with the team.
Yeah. Sick.
Like they go on with the road bikes.
Yeah.
So maybe join a little bit.
Just for fun.
Just for fun, easy and
Yeah, well, the
that's-
pace is probably not going to be crazy hard.
No, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
I don't know
they're
if they go all with
savages.
the electric bikes. I don't know.
True way. Do you do much mountain biking as a part of your program?
I do more
Road cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Belgium it's easier. You
Yeah.
just get into the bike path and you can go for hours and hours, on the bike path, and then it's easy.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
cars. Well, when you are in the mountain either, but somehow in Belgium it's quite easy to go on the road bike.
Yeah, okay. There's a ton of good mountain bike tracks around where you're at. So
Here, huh?
yeah.
I heard. I still don't have a mountain bike yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting for one. So I have the gravel now and road bike.
Do you have a bike sponsor?
We are dealing with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. If you get
I got already 2 bicycles. I'm waiting for the third one, and should be done the deal.
Yeah, okay, sick. Yeah, well, the mountain biking is cool around the area. I'm getting an e-bike so that I can
really?
just blast out. Dude, I'm fucked. The e-bikes are the shit. So good. Because I don't want to ruin myself. Like I do other sports, you know? Like I don't want to go and just completely destroy myself every time I want to ride for fun. At least like on an e-bike, it's still
Yes.
a workout, but I could just train again later. It's not like a huge deal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, with the e-bike, the good thing is that you can go up the hill and then just drop, right? And
Yeah.
and it's a bit safer than a regular cross-country bike because
Yeah.
it's a bit heavier, so it's more planted to the ground.
For sure.
And then suspension, it absorbs way more.
Yeah.
I feel it's safer, like if you want to jump or do that kind of stuff, and then it helps you to come back up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't need to cycle that hard.
Yeah.
So
Com-
I think it's a good combo.
Yeah, completely agree. Well, dude, this was awesome. I'm stoked. I'm pumped that you did it. And for people listening, we're probably a month away from dropping this because obviously a bit of a
Yeah.
secret deal. But
Yes.
I think it's going to be really cool to have this come out pretty much just the day that you announce your deal. I think I think the American public really embraced you when you were here. I think people were super excited for you
Yeah,
to do
I could
those
feel that.
5 rounds. And I think now the fact that you're here and a part of this championship for 3 years minimum is epic. Like I said,
I was very happy. So when I came here last year and I raced and I spent time here, I felt like I was good with the fans. The fans were good to me. Like I got a lot of support from them, and this is cool, right? Because you are new in a new country and you feel already the support and good words from everyone. So it's cool for me to just to experience that. So should be cool, new experience. Let's get it.
yeah. No, and I'm excited to watch you. I'm a fan, you know that. And I'm very, very excited to have another big player in the mix. So keen to see it A1, and I'm especially excited for Parla first round. I think that's gonna be pretty epic to watch. So appreciate you, brother. I'll be cheering for you.
Thank you for having me one more time.
No worries, mate. Won't be the last time.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.